doctor say?
I didn't go to the doctor.
What do you mean you didn't go to the doctor?
After I showered and shaved, I felt better. There's no reason to go.
Billy Joe, you are making a big mistake.
I feel all right, Ruby.
I saw you this morning. You couldn't even drag yourself out of bed.
Yeah, it must have been one of them 24-hour viruses or something.
Well, I've never seen a 24-hour virus that made people double over and turn white the way you did yesterday. Especially the way it came on you all of a sudden.
Ruby, will you let up, huh? I'm fine.
Well, maybe you are now, but I think you should go have it checked out. Something wrong with you.
I'll tell you what's wrong with me. It's all this crazy business we got going on here at the TV station. What with a drunk Phil Roberts and a sister that makes me a nervous wreck, always getting herself in some mess or other. That's what's wrong with me.
How do you feel?
I am a very nervous person, Elliot.
Well, I think that's natural. This is your first time on television.
Last night I dreamed that they asked me the first question and I opened my mouth and nothing came out.
Well, that's the performer's nightmare, but it rarely happens.
Oh, I wish I'd had a chance to talk to Phil about the boutique beforehand.
Well, unfortunately, there isn't time. Anyway, he likes spontaneous, off-the-cuff discussions. Oh. Don't worry. Everything's going to be all right.
I don't know. Phil Roberts has a reputation for going after people
Yeah, well, that's
sometimes.
not going to happen because Billy Joe is going to be sitting right there next to you.
How about those little potatoes with parsley and butter?
Those are frozen potatoes. Vivi.
Well, who will know?
I will know. Lacey gone to the station?
Yep.
Will she be back for dinner?
Probably not. Things are a little hectic at the studio these days.
Oh, I hope she isn't being overworked.
Well, apparently, Mr. Phil Roberts has been acting kind of bonkers lately.
What do you mean, bonkers?
He's very unhappy with Billy Joe Wright. He thinks Billy Joe's trying to take over his show.
Oh, I hope Lacey doesn't become involved in any political intrigue. It's so distasteful.
Lacey told me who's going to be on the show this afternoon. You might be interested.
Oh, I don't think so. I like Mr. Roberts, but he scares her things like dancing fleas.
Paige Carrington's going to be a guest.
Paige?
Billy Joe, I don't think that's a very nice way to talk to the sister who got you the job as co-host on the Phil Roberts show and who happens to be negotiating a very lucrative contract for you.
Look, Ruby, I don't mean to seem ungrateful, but you got to understand, I'm not in the best of moods today, all right?
I do understand, and that's why I think you should have gone to see the doctor this morning.
I didn't go to the doctor because I knew the way I was feeling. The doctor would have told me not to do the show today.
Look, honey, I know you're a trooper, but there is nothing wrong with missing one show if you're sick. It is not going to ruin your career.
I'm not worried about it ruining my career.
Then what's the problem?
Paige Carrington's doing the show today.
So, Phil Roberts can handle that interview.
I promised Paige I'd be there to help her plug her boutique, and I'm not going to let her down.
I wonder if this decision has anything to do with Nita.
It's got nothing to do with Nita. It's got nothing to do with Nita. I haven't even talked to her.
Yeah, but Nita works for Paige now. And if the boutique fails, Nita's going to be out of a job.
Then she'd find another one.
On the other hand, if the boutique is a success, then Nita's going to be very grateful to you. She might even come back to you.
I don't want Nita to come back to me. I'm through with Nita. I told you that and I meant it.
You got her the job at the boutique.
That was before Nita divorced me. Before she stopped being part of my life.
Well, I hope you mean that, Billy Joe. Because things are really starting to happen for you now. You're going to make $150,000 this year. Now, Nita's not classy enough for you.
Now, look, Ruby, I know you're my sister, and I love you. I really do. But I got to tell you something. You really get on my nerves.
I am only telling you this because I care.
Yeah, well, do me a favor, huh? Today's going to be a long day, so go easy on me.
Well, you're right about one thing.
What's that?
Your nerves. You know, the more I think about it, the more I think the only thing wrong with you is that your nerves are all frazzled.
Well, I can't argue with you about that.
Well, it's no wonder after all that's been happening to you. I mean, first you're made co-host of the Phil Roberts show. Then Phil shows up drunk. And then he has the nerve to accuse me of being the one who...
Look, Ruby, if you don't mind, I want to go to my dressing room and try to get some rest here.
Sure. I was going to suggest that.
You tell Ben where I am?
Okay. I will.
When were we supposed to meet with the producers?
Not for a long time. Ben said he would meet you here in the office and take you down to the green room.
The green room?
Yeah, that's where people are going to be on the show. Wait until they go on the show.
Well, considering how I feel, that's very apropos.
You want some tea to calm you?
No, thanks. I'm sorry I came so early, Elliot. I was just driving Nita crazy at the boutique.
Oh, I don't mind. I don't mind, you know that. Listen, have any of the charities let you know if they're going to sponsor the opening yet?
No, not yet. It would seem to me it would be a very simple matter, but they seem to have all this red tape involved.
You'd think that one of them would realize what a great opportunity it is for funds and publicity.
You would think. Well, at least several of them have promised to let me know this afternoon, so...
Any of them look like they'll come through?
One looks promising.
Listen, I have an idea.
What?
Instead of sitting here and worrying yourself, why don't we go have some lunch?
Oh, I don't know if I can eat anything, Elliot. But if I sit here much longer, I'm going to jump right out of my skin. I think it might be good to move around a little bit.
Well, in that case, I have another idea.
What?
Well, there's a playground in the school next door to the station.
A playground?
Mm-hmm. We could go play on the swings. If you don't mind regressing to your childhood for about half an hour.
I'm already there. I feel rather silly about how I'm reacting.
Oh,
to
I
this
don't
whole
think you're being
interview
silly.
thing.
I think I'm being silly.
I really do thank you for everything you've done for me.
Oh, listen, like I said the other day, all the thanks I need is for you to make a success out of this boutique. In spite of Iris. Now, let's go.
Okay, to the playground.
Absolutely.
To a playground, really? How on earth did Paige get booked on the Phil Roberts show?
Billy Joe Wright told Ben about her.
Billy Joe? Well, why would he tell whoever Ben is about Paige?
Apparently they're friends. His ex-wife works with Paige now.
How do you know that?
Mr. Carrington told me.
I don't understand why Mr. Roberts would want that woman on his show.
Oh, this is just a last-minute thing. They had some dead time because somebody canceled. Apparently, people have been canceling all week because...
Because what?
Because Mr. Roberts, it seems to me, has been a little tipsy lately.
On the air?
Yes, he slurs his words. He runs on and on. What are you thinking, Mrs. Wheeler?
What time does that show go on?
1 o'clock.
Oh, there's still time.
There's still time for what?
Never you mind.
Who are you calling, Mrs. Wheeler?
Vicky Bellman.
These letters need to be signed right away.
Okay. Phil Roberts is sober today.
Oh, that's good. How do you know that?
I just wandered up to the 3rd floor and checked him out.
Meredith, we do not own that show.
No, but it runs on our station.
And we try not to interfere.
I wasn't interfering. I was just checking on things.
I hope you were discreet.
They hardly knew I was there.
All right.
You know, I think old Phil Roberts is losing it.
I think you're right.
Billy Joe Wright sure did a nice job covering for Phil.
Yes, he did.
The audience likes him better than Phil.
No one was at the desk, so I'm inviting myself in.
Hello, Mrs.
Wheeler.
Meredith, how nice to see you.
I haven't seen you since the governor's reception.
That's right. Hello, Vicki.
Hello, Iris. Well, I've got work to do. It was nice seeing you, Mrs. Wheeler.
Thank you. What a lovely girl.
Yes, she is. Well, this is a nice surprise. Iris, please, sit down.
Thank you. Well, how do you feel about your daughter's being a working director of World Oil?
Well, I have very mixed feelings about that.
I'm sure she's quite capable.
I don't doubt she's capable, but
I think Rena will be a valuable asset to the company.
I hope you're right. So, what can I do for you?
I've been working on the fundraising campaign for the children's wing at the hospital.
Yes, I know.
Well, we're having a bazaar next week, and I'd like to go on the Phil Roberts show and talk about it this afternoon.
Millie, have you seen Phil? Is he up in makeup?
I haven't seen him all morning.
Well, he must be around here someplace. I just spoke with him a while ago.
Was he sober?
Yes.
Let's hope he stays that way. One more performance like he gave the other day, and we'll all be out of jobs.
Now, look, Millie, he's going to be fine. Hello? Oh, hello, Mrs. Bellman. Yes? Well, I think we can arrange that. Will you let me get right back to you? That was Mrs. Bellman.
I thought you called her Vicky.
She used her Mrs. Bellman tone, and so I adjusted. She wants me to find a place for Iris Wheeler on the show today. She has some charity thing she wants to promote.
I thought Mrs. Bellman never interfered with the show.
When a charity is concerned, she has no shame. You know, she's one of the biggest fundraisers in all of Texas.
I can't imagine anyone like Mrs. Wheeler wanting to appear with Phil Roberts.
Millie, this is one of the hottest local shows in Houston.
You don't think any of her friends actually watch the show, do you?
I don't know. Look, Mrs. Bellman says that the charity bazaar is next week, and that's why Mrs. Wheeler wants to talk about it so much. I just sew on this for a while.
Come in. Oh, great. Just what I need.
Believe me, the feeling's mutual.
Then what are you doing
I want to
here?
know if you talked to Ruby yet.
Yeah, I talked to her. And she denied the whole thing.
I didn't expect her to admit it.
Then why'd you ask?
Because I'm not sure you're still not behind the whole thing.
Give me a break, will you? I don't feel well today.
My heart bleeds for you.
Ruby showed me the thermos in her purse. It was just coffee.
Obviously, she refilled it.
I think you should forget about the whole thing.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd like it. I'd like it a lot. I'd like to be left in peace.
I hear you managed to slip a friend of yours on the show.
It was a cancellation and we needed somebody.
You should have come to me. I still run this show. As long as it's called the Phil Roberts Show, I'll continue to run it.
You weren't around at the time.
You think you're taking this show away from me, don't you? And you think I don't see it, do you?
I'll tell you what I think. I think I need a little rest right now, so I'd appreciate it if you just walk right back out the door, just like you walked in.
I want to tell you something.
What?
I'm going to give that friend of yours a rough time on the show today.
What do you mean?
I mean just what I said.
You can't do that.
Watch me.
Faith Carrington is one heck of a nice lady. She's had a rough time of it lately, and I'm not going to let
What are you going to do? Get me drunk again? That's not going to work.
I'm not going to let you get away with it.
Your days on this show are numbered, Billy Joe. I want you to remember that.
Meredith, where is the Austin file? Oh, TJ has it. He's down in legal.
TJ? I thought he was in Washington with Stryker.
No, he just flew back this morning. What was Iris Wheeler doing here?
Oh, she's going to appear on the Phil Roberts show this afternoon.
Why?
She's promoting a bazaar to help raise money for the children's wing at the hospital. What's wrong?
No, nothing. It just surprises me that Iris would want to appear with Phil.
Hello, TJ.
Hi, Vicky. Meredith.
Hey, TJ.
How is that husband of mine?
Well, you talk to him 6 times a day.
I know, and he says he's just fine, but...
He's fine. He's taking care of himself.
Oh, don't forget about that Austin file. We'll need it later.
Ah. I have to go down to editing. You owe me a dinner.
I won't forget. Oh, we straightened out that problem at the Colorado station.
Oh, you know, I'm beginning to regret the day I bought that station. There's just been one problem after another.
Well, they're all ironed out now and everything's fine. I hope.
TJ, Stryker told me that you declined to go to London to work on the Hopkins case.
You surprised?
Well, yes, I am. I thought you'd be getting restless by now.
Well, not yet. You think that's a sign of old age settling in?
No, I don't think so. Hello, sweetheart. Hello.
Hi, Rena.
Hello, TJ.
Excuse me.
Well, how have you been?
Fine, thank you.
I haven't seen you since Iris's party.
That's right. Did you have a good time in Washington?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw a lot of old friends of mine. It was real nice. Look, I'm going to be in town for a while. Why don't we get together for dinner?
Yes, that might be nice in time.
How about tonight?
No, not tonight, thank you.
Tomorrow night? I'll call you.
Oh, what was that all about?
Nothing.
Next time I think it'll be a chocolate.
Oh.
Oh, I hope we're not late.
Oh, I don't think so. If Ben had already come for us, he'd have left a message with my secretary. Thank you.
I'm not really sure I care, Elliot.
Are you serious?
Yeah. No, not really. It's just I haven't had so much fun in such a long time.
I know. I'd forgotten how high you can go in one of those swings.
I thought you were going to take a full circle there for a minute.
Oh, childhood. I wouldn't go through any of that again. No, what are you thinking about?
Not important.
About the show?
About Dennis.
Well, there's no need to worry about him. I spoke with Dr. Jeffries yesterday. He's very pleased with Dennis's progress.
Good. You were right, Elliot, when you said we had to talk.
Well, I still think we should, but I don't think this is the time.
So much has happened. It's just so easy not to deal with it.
Deceptively easy. I think that's what happened to Dennis. He couldn't face the fact that he still cared about you. That's why he felt betrayed by me.
I still care very much about you.
And I care a great deal about you, too. But I see now why Dennis felt he was betrayed.
All right. All right. Wrong time to talk, but we will, right?
We will. There's Ben.
Uh-oh, there goes my stomach.
Hello, Elliot.
How are you, Ben?
Mrs. Carrington. How do you feel? A little nervous?
Yeah.
No need to be. I just came by to let you know that there'd be another little change, yet another, in our show this afternoon. I hope you don't mind.
I don't mind. I'm just very grateful for the chance to appear.
Well, what's the change exactly?
Well, we've added one more guest. Someone I think you know, Iris Wheeler.
Who is it?
It's me.
Go away.
Are you all right? Billy Joe, what's wrong? What's wrong?
I feel like a truck just ran over me.
You don't have a fever.
Well, I guess it's just a case of nerves.
Well, honey, have you been like this ever since I left you?
Oh, I had a visitor.
Who?
Phil Roberts came in here and started an argument with me. And right after he left, man, I had that sharp shoot pain. It started right in my stomach. And then I felt like my whole body was on fire.
Oh, I'm going to go get a doctor right now.
No, you can't do that.
Look, Billy Joe, your health is more important than one show.
I gotta do that show.
Look, I know you're still worried about Paige, but Phil can take care of that interview just fine.
Ruby, Phil told me he's going after Paige.
Now, why would Phil do a thing like that?
Because Paige is a friend of mine?
Well, I'm sure Paige can take care of herself.
No! I'm gonna be all right.
Oh, sure you're going to be all right, Billy Joe. You can't even stand up.
I'm gonna do that show. And then if I don't feel better, I promise you, I'll go to the doctor. But I'm not gonna let Phil ruin Paige's chances of making a success of that boutique.
Mrs. Wheeler, this is Phil Roberts.
How do you do, Mr. Roberts?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Wheeler.
I want to thank you for accommodating me on such short notice.
It's no trouble at all.
I'm very interested in this particular charity and would like to publicize it as much as possible.
What charity is that?
It's the Children's Wing at Gulf Coast Hospital.
Please sit down, Mrs. Wheeler. I love children, and we're here to do good as well as entertain.
Now, Mrs. Wheeler, since we put you on the show to accommodate you, I'm afraid that we won't be able to give you quite as much time as we normally would.
Oh, I understand.
Oh, I think we can find a few moments for Mrs. Wheeler.
Well, Phil...
Let me see the lineup, Ben. Well, we got this girl singer who's not very good. We can give her one song instead of two, and then we got that Paige Carrington woman.
Paige Carrington?
Yes. She's your daughter-in-law, isn't she?
My ex-daughter-in-law.
Well, I thought we'd have Mrs. Wheeler on the first half hour and Mrs. Carrington on the second half.
Well, Paige and I are not on the best of terms, but I don't mind sharing a segment with her. For the sake of the children, of course.
Well, I thought that it would work better in different segments.
Ben, why don't you get Mrs. Wheeler a cup of tea?
Sure, and I'll show you where the makeup room is at the same time.
Ben, you get her a cup of tea, and I'll chat with her about the Children's Wing. She's not going to need much makeup. She looks absolutely gorgeous. Mrs. Wheeler, I gather you don't like your ex-daughter-in-law very much.
I loathe her.
Honey, why don't you go out to dinner with TJ?
Because I don't want to.
But, sweetheart,
Mama, I'm not ready yet. Please don't push me.
All right, I'm sorry.
Where can I find Margaret Hanson's assistant?
Why do you want to see her?
Well, she wants to ask me a few questions to prepare Margaret for the interview.
You know, honey, I really wish you'd reconsider and just tell Margaret you're not free.
I've already accepted. It's too late. I can't back out now.
Yes, you can. And you should.
Why are you so upset? I'm not going to embarrass you.
I'm not so sure about that.
Mama.
Now, you're certainly not going to look very attractive trading insults with Margaret Hanson.
I'm not going to do that.
Uh-huh.
Has Meredith talked to Cody this afternoon?
Yes, she has. And there hasn't been one word about Barrett and Steve. Have you spoken to Ginny?
Yes, this morning. I tried calling her again before I left for the office, but I guess she was out riding.
Excuse me. You'll be looking for this Austin file.
Thanks, Meredith.
I hear you're going to do Margaret's show.
Unless I can talk her out of it.
Do you have any suggestions?
Yes. Cancel out. Don't do it.
You've been working for Mama so long, you sound just like her.
Does anybody want to take a look at the Phil Roberts show?
Not particularly. I think he's a moron.
Iris is on the show this afternoon.
Why is she on?
Oh, no.
It's really great to have you here on the show, Paige. Come on over here and have a seat by me.
Thank you, Billy Joe.
Sorry we kept you waiting so long, but I was so interested in Mrs. Wheeler's comments about the children's wing.
Yes, so was I. I do hope people will attend the bazaar. I went last year and had a wonderful time.
Now, the bazaar is open at 10, and it goes until...
8 o'clock.
Write that down, folks. 10 to 8.
So, you must be really busy now, what, with the opening up of your new boutique?
Yes, it is pretty hectic, but very exciting.
Well, tell us about it now. It's in the Galleria.
Yes,
right?
on the second level.
What are you going to do, sell jeans, that sort of thing?
No, designer clothes.
Well, I can tell by the way you look now here, boy, that place is going to be a real big success.
Thank you, Billy Joe.
I understand you had a brief career in Hollywood as an actress.
Yes.
Now, about the boutique.
That brief, huh? I also understand that you're a good friend of Peter Parnell's in Hollywood. Of course, he's been indicted for murder.
Peter Parnell used to own the Coop. Matter of fact, I was taken in by him for a while, too. He seemed like a nice guy, but the problem is you can't really tell about people sometimes until it's too late. Now, Paige, tell us the name of your place.
Page 1.
That's a great name, ain't it, Phil?
Well, that's all the time we got. Thank you. And special thanks to you, Mrs. Wheeler, for sharing your time with us. And thank you for tuning in. See you tomorrow.
Dave, move this out of here, will you? Just move it. Move it back.
Lacey asked me to give you this. It's a list of the guests on next week's shows.
Any cancellations?
Not so far. Looks like we're going to be all right.
Yeah, as long as Phil holds up.
Seemed to do a pretty good job of cutting up Paige Carrington today.
Do you think he came across mean and vicious?
I thought so. But maybe the audience didn't know what he was doing.
The audience knew. Those people aren't fools.
Thank goodness for Billy Joe. He made things a little easier for Mrs. Carrington.
But not much.
If he had felt better.
Yeah, what was wrong with him?
I don't know. But I thought he was going to pass out right on a set.
Yeah, he looked a little pale to me. Ruby, do you know where Billy Joe is? I have this list of next week's guests for him, and I'd like to give it to him.
He's in his dressing room.
Is he all right?
He's fine.
Well, he looked sort of strange during the show.
If you ask me, everybody in this studio has been looking a little strange lately.
But he's all right, though.
He's a little under the weather, but I think he's going to be fine.
Well, I hope so. The last thing we need is for something to happen to Billy Joe.
Don't worry, the Wrights are troopers. Look, he's just a little upset about what's been going on in the studio the past few days, but it's nothing to worry about.
Meredith, why didn't you let me know that Paige Carrington was scheduled for the show today?
I didn't know. That's the truth.
Mom, I don't understand why you're so upset.
I'm upset because Phil Roberts and your friend Iris have deliberately embarrassed Paige on my television station.
Well, if Paige didn't want her life exposed publicly, then she shouldn't be on television.
Paige was on the show to promote her boutique, not discuss her past life.
Well, maybe her past life is more interesting than her boutique.
You know, sweetheart, we have all made mistakes that we would rather forget.
She sure as hell didn't forget that Parnell man. She moved in with him just as soon as Dennis told her that he wanted a divorce. And as far as her little dress shop is concerned, I doubt that it'll be successful. She doesn't have any taste.
Rena.
She's a tramp, Mama. You know it as well as I do.
Well, Phil Roberts and Iris did their best to give Houston that impression.
Oh, I don't think Iris is to blame. Phil Roberts is the one who asked all the questions.
And how do you suppose he knew what questions to ask?
Listen, Mama, Iris saved Paige's neck the other night at Elliot's party. If it wasn't for Vivian and Iris, half of Houston would have seen that porno film that Paige starred in.
What are you talking about?
Well, didn't you know what happened?
No. Tell me.
Dennis was going to show that porno film, but Iris double-crossed him, and that's why we saw the films of Dennis when he was a baby. Apparently, Vivian had switched the cassettes at the last minute. I'm sorry, I thought you knew.
Do you mean Iris actually agreed to give that party so Dennis could embarrass Paige?
Well, I'm sure she didn't plan for it to go that far.
I don't believe that she could even pretend to go along with it.
Mama, she only did the thing that she thought was best.
Didn't she know how ill Dennis was?
No, she didn't. And she feels very bad about it. It was Paige's fault. She did that to Dennis. She's the one who's responsible for Iris being blackmailed, and she's responsible for Dennis going to prison for Chris Shaw's murder.
Iris could have gone to the police. And Dennis...
Mama, Dennis loved Paige from the very beginning, but she was so concerned about her pocketbook that she couldn't be honest with him. And then when Dennis found out what kind of person she really was, well, no wonder he cracked up.
Thanks, Ed. Well, Iris, there you are. I was looking for you.
Oh, I was in Mr. Roberts' office, thanking him for the chance to appear on his show.
You're very pleased with yourself, aren't you?
Very.
You know, I would think that even you would get tired of revenge after a while.
Not until the job is done.
But you do think at least that this public embarrassment is enough?
After what Paige has done to my son, I couldn't begin to do enough.
But Dennis is going to be fine. Dr. Jeffrey says he's making excellent progress.
I'm glad of that.
I don't think he would at all approve of what you're doing.
I don't intend to discuss it with him.
Well, what if he saw the show today? There's a TV in his room. Do you think his progress would be helped seeing the shabby campaign his mother is waging in his name?
I'm not going to let you lay all of this at my doorstep. Paige brought this on herself. I didn't make a pornographic film. I didn't associate with pimps and murderers and drug dealers. That was Paige.
Iris, please, lower your voice.
I will not lower my voice. I am sick of you preaching at me and meddling in something that is none of your concern.
Anything that concerns Paige and or Dennis is my concern.
The fact that you are in love with that tramp is an illness you will have to deal with. I won't be dragged into that.
I should have known it was no use to talk to you.
Not when I know I'm right, and I am. But I want to assure you that none of my friends will be tricked into patronizing any boutique that woman owns. I'm going to close down the Page One boutique before it even opens.
Always nice to see you.
Rena, I'm appalled that you would condone Iris's behavior.
Now, wait a minute. I am not condoning it. I'm just trying to explain Iris' side of the story. Dennis is her son, she loves him, and she's only trying to protect him.
Well, destroying Paige is not going to help Dennis.
Might.
It won't. And I don't want you to get involved in Iris's campaign against Paige.
I'm not getting involved.
Well, you're certainly defending her.
Mama, why are you suddenly feeling so sorry for Paige?
Because she's going after Paige the same way she went after Ryan.
Ryan was innocent.
Rena, I didn't know you were here.
Ah.
I just wanted to thank Vicky for her help.
Iris, if I had known what you were up to, you would never have appeared on that show.
Now, Vicky.
Did Lacey tell you Paige was appearing on the show today?
She might have mentioned it in passing.
Mm-hmm. So you hurried down here and used the bazaar as a pretext to embarrass Paige.
Oh, I was very grateful to Mr. Roberts for all the time he gave me to discuss the bazaar. I hope it will produce a large crowd. Well, as for Paige, I didn't embarrass her. I didn't say a word to her.
Well, you obviously had a great deal to say to Phil Roberts before the show. Those questions about her background.
Paige was very big news a while back When she was arrested for Crishaw's murder, I guess Mr. Roberts reads the papers.
Iris, did you tell Phil about the porno film that Paige made?
Certainly not.
I don't like being used, Iris. And I particularly resent you using my television station to embarrass Paige.
You certainly can't approve of the kind of person Paige is.
The girl has made mistakes, but they're in the past.
No. Those mistakes are still costing my son a great deal. And I intend to see that she pays for them at a great cost to herself.
I think it might have been better if you hadn't said anything to Iris.
You can't let Iris get away with something like that. She'll just turn around and do it again.
That's exactly it, Elliot. She always seems to get away with it.
Oh, maybe I'm just taking out my anger toward myself on her.
Why in heaven's name should you be angry with yourself?
Because I blame myself for what happened.
Elliot, that's absurd.
There was trouble at the studio between Billy Joe and Phil Roberts.
That show isn't KVIK's responsibility. You told me
But
that.
if I'd been on top of things, I never would have let you appear on it. I wouldn't even have suggested the idea.
Do you think the interview was that damaging?
No, I don't think so. It's just the idea.
Well, I think it was a wonderful idea. How could you have known what would happen?
Well, I could have prepared you better. I could have acquainted you with Bill Roberts
Elliot,
beforehand.
stop it, please. There was no time to prepare. I was the one that was anxious about it.
All right.
All right?
Yeah, all right.
I better call Nita and tell her I'm on my way to the boutique, okay?
Help us out. I'll make this up to you some way.
There's nothing to be made up. Nita, hi. How you doing? Yeah, I'm at KVIK. I'm on my way over. You saw it. Where did you ever find a television? Did it look that terrible? Well, that's very sweet of you. Is there anything else I should know about? When did that happen? Okay. Yeah, I see. All right, I'll see you shortly.
Nita saw the show?
Yes. She said I was much more beautiful than Iris.
She's right. What's wrong?
Two of the charities that I'd been counting on called, Elliot. They said they won't be sponsoring the opening of the boutique after all.
Ben sent the guest list for next week.
Put them on the desk.
Billy Joe, are you all right?
I most definitely am not all right.
What's wrong?
I don't know. I feel like I'm going to faint. Then I feel queasy to my stomach. Then I feel hot, and then I'm freezing the next minute.
What have you had to eat today?
I haven't eaten most of anything the way I've been feeling.
You don't have a fever.
I think I'll be all right. I just need to take it easy for a while, that's all.
I think you should go straight to the doctor.
So, how'd you like the show?
I'm awfully sorry about what happened to your friend, Mrs. Carrington.
Yeah, I feel terrible about it, too.
Well, you did what you could, Billy Joe.
No, I didn't. Phil Roberts took control of the show away from me. By the time Paige came on, it was too late.
I hope she knows everybody on this show isn't as rude as Phil Roberts.
I'm sure she knows that. Thanks for coming by.
Hi, here, Billy Joe. I just stopped by to talk to you about tomorrow's show.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do tomorrow's show, by the way I'm feeling right now.
Billy Joe, what is wrong?
Ben?
I'm right here, Billy Joe. Billy Joe! Oh, my God.
Billy Joe!
Hey, somebody get a doctor, quick! Something's happened to Billy Joe!
How are you and Vicky getting along?
Fine, just as long as I don't mention your name.
Oh, she's still angry about my appearance on the Phil Roberts show. I just can't understand how a woman as intelligent as Vicky could possibly defend someone as dreadful as Paige.
I don't think it's a question of intelligence, Iris. She feels used.
But over Paige Marshall?
It wouldn't matter who it was. You tricked her into getting you on the show, and she resents it.
Oh, I suppose if it comes right down to it, I did trick her. And I'm sorry for that. But as for Paige, I think I accomplished a great deal toward closing her little shop before it even opens. And I'm not sorry about that at all.
Did the doctor tell you what kind of test he's going to do?
Yeah, he said an EEG and an EKG and an XYZ and a QRT and all those things. But I never understood any of that initial stuff.
Well, he is going to do some tests, though.
Yeah, he's going to do them.
But do you have any idea how long all this is going to take?
But you know how hospitals are, just like the Army. You hurry up and you wait.
How you feeling?
Well, I feel a whole lot better, which is why I think this whole thing is a big waste of money.
Yeah, well, you felt better yesterday, too, till you got to the studio and had a relapse.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen today.
How do you know?
Because I'm not going to the studio.
What do you mean?
I mean the way Phil Roberts treated Paige Carrington yesterday on the show, I might not ever go back.
Hello, Dennis.
Hey, what is this? No more crossword puzzle books?
I bought out the hospital gift shop. There are no crossword puzzle books left.
Well, that means I've cornered the market, I guess.
I guess so. So today all you get is me.
Yeah, guess that'll have to do.
You seem to be in a very good mood this morning.
I am in a good mood this morning. Sitting around here having time to think has helped a lot.
And you've been seeing Dr. Jeffries.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he's been terrific. I think I know more about myself now than when I checked into this place.
Well, good.
There's one more thing. I'd like to see Paige today.
Lee? Down here, Jenny. Oh. Honey, I'm going into Houston this morning. Rena's taping the Margaret Hanson show. And so she asked me to come to the station with her.
Okay. I want you to come with me.
Oh, thanks. We'll go shopping and have lunch together. It'll be a lot of fun. Come on. I'd really rather stay here at the ranch.
Arlene, Kate's going to be gone most of the day, and I don't want you here by yourself.
I'll be fine. I want to finish putting the pictures in the photo album for Miss Kate.
Honey, you can do that tonight.
Jenny, I know you're worried because Bubba's out of jail now, but I'll be fine out here. Rusty's guarding the house, and the rest of the ranch hands are keeping a watch out for Bubba. There's no need for you to worry. I'll be okay.
Ryan thinks that Bubba might try to call you again.
I'll be ready for him. If he calls, I'll just hang up on him. Please don't worry.
What have you been doing since the television show yesterday?
I've been talking to some friends of mine, suggesting that it might not be a good idea for them to get their favorite charities involved in the opening of Paige's little shop.
Paige is probably depending on those people to make her shop a success. If she's selling designer clothes, those are the only people who could afford to buy them.
She went into the wrong business. A 5 and dime would have been more appropriate.
Iris, you are awful.
No, truthful. Oh. And you're right. She is counting on support from my friends, which she won't get.
Did Dennis ask for your help?
He didn't have to. I've seen what she's done to him.
How is he?
I think he's better.
That's good news, huh?
I'm going to the hospital this morning to see him. I hope I can persuade that doctor of his to release him.
Do you think that he's ready to leave the hospital already?
I do. He doesn't belong in that place.
Well, you better make his doctor have that decision.
I know Dennis better than Dr. Jeffries does, or ever will.
Oh, honey. How do you suppose Dennis feels about Elliot's relationship with Paige?
He feels the same way about it as I do. It's one of his greatest problems. I just can't for the life of me understand why Elliot continues to see Paige.
I think he knows what this is doing to Dennis.
Oh, of course he does. But he obviously cares more for that little tramp than he does his own son.
Oh, now I find that hard to believe.
It's true. But I think when the boutique closes, Paige will have enough sense to leave town, and that will be the end of it.
I hope it resolves itself that easily, Iris, but I doubt it.
Well, we'll see. Don't you want more coffee?
No, thank you. I'm on my way to KVIK.
Are you going to see your mother?
No, I'm taping Margaret Hanson's interview show this afternoon.
You are?
Thanks to you.
To me?
Yes. You nominated me to the board of directors of World Oil and made me vice president, and that's the only reason that Margaret wants to see me.
Oh, Rena, I have seen Margaret Hanson in action. She's a very aggressive reporter. Are you nervous?
Nope. I plan to be as successful as you were yesterday. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have you talked this over with Dr. Jeffries?
Yes, I have.
And he thinks it's a wise idea for you to see Paige just now?
Well, he didn't say that. He just said that it would be up to me.
That if you truly wanted to see her, it would be all right.
That's right.
Well, then, why are you asking my permission?
I should think that would be obvious.
You and I haven't had a chance yet to talk about my relationship with Paige.
Dad, your relationship with Paige is strictly your business.
Dennis,
right now, all I can think about are my own feelings towards her.
Well, what are they?
I'm not sure. I just think that seeing her might give me a chance to sort out my feelings, that's all.
I told Rena that I'd bring you with me. She's really looking forward to seeing you.
Jenny,
She's going to be very disappointed if you don't come with me.
Jenny, I really don't want to go.
Okay. Then why don't you go over to the church? Kate's over there and helping the other altar guild ladies.
I don't think so.
Honey, this is the first time that the church is going to be open since the fire. I'm sure that they could use your help.
I don't want to see anybody. I just want to stay here by myself.
Elaine, you haven't been out of this house in days.
Yes, I have. I walked down to the pond with you yesterday.
You won't go to the shopping mall? You won't go to the supermarket?
Jenny, I'd be ashamed to look at anybody in the eyes.
Honey, you've got to get over that. Just because Bubba tried to rape you does not brand you as a bad person.
People will think I ask for it.
No, they won't. If you just get out of the house and talk to people, you'll see they won't treat you any differently.
Maybe I'll go riding later with Guy or Rusty.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Well, Miss Kate thought that there were some more filler pages for the photo album in the desk, but I can't find them.
Well, do you need more?
I really want to finish the album for her today. To surprise her.
Did you look in the desk in the study?
No, not yet. Is Rena going to be on television this afternoon or tonight?
Well, I think that they're pre-taping the show, so it probably won't be on till this weekend.
Oh.
Oh, I get it. Marcia Rand. Oh, hi, Caleb.
I'm not here.
No, I'm sorry. She's not here right now. Sure, I'll tell you to call. Okay, bye-bye. Elaine?
Yes.
You promised me that you were going to talk to Caleb.
I can't. I can't talk to him about Bubba trying to rape me.
Honey, Caleb is very fond of you. I'm sure that he'll be very understanding and he'll help you realize that this is not your fault. There's no need to feel guilty about it.
I just want to forget about Bubba.
I want you to forget about Bubba, too. But first, we must talk about it. Your thoughts and feelings are all confused. You can't keep things all bottled up inside of you like this.
But I can't talk to Caleb about it.
Okay. Will you talk to me about it?
Tonight, okay?
Okay. I'll call you from town.
Tell Rena hello for me.
Okay, I will.
if you hear from the people in Mississippi, have them give me a call here at the station, okay? That's right. Bye. Hey, Mama.
Hi, sweetheart. Well, what's all this about Mississippi?
Oh, I'm working on a land deal there.
Well, they certainly have thrown you right into the middle of things over at World Oil, haven't they?
They haven't thrown me. I've jumped right in.
Over your head?
Maybe a little. I've got Daddy helping me. Where's Ginny?
Well, I haven't seen her yet.
I am a little early.
You're nervous, aren't you?
No.
Isn't that why you want Jenny here?
No, we're going to have lunch together after the taping.
Oh, honey, I wish I could talk you out of doing that interview.
You can't, so stop trying. Oh, Mom, I'm not going to embarrass you, I promise.
You know Margaret's style. You know she's going to do her best to make you angry, and I know how easily you can fly off the handle.
That is not going to happen. I know her tricks, and I'm going to be very, very careful.
Rena.
Mama, you know, I wish you'd stop treating me like a 5-year-old.
I'm sorry. But I can't help worrying about you.
I'm a grown woman now. I really know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. All right. What do you expect to accomplish by doing this interview?
One thing would make me very happy. I want everyone to know that Ryan was innocent, that he did not misuse World Oil funds.
Everybody knows that already, honey.
But they don't know that Justin framed Ryan.
Rena, you cannot accuse Justin of framing Ryan. You don't have proof.
Justin didn't have any proof when he accused Ryan of misappropriating company funds.
Rena, you're going to have a lawsuit on your hands before this taping's over.
Mama, that's exactly what I want. Ryan was forced to prove his innocence. Well, I want to force Justin to prove his. Of course, he won't be able to, and then I will just move right in.
Rena, I want your promise that you will not mention Justin's name. Otherwise, I'm going to stop this interview right now.
Mama, you're not being
I mean
fair.
it, Rena. I want your promise.
Ruby.
Hi, Mr. Carrington. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Oh, it's real nice of you to come up and check on Billy Joe, but I'm sure he's going to be fine.
I didn't know Billy Joe was in the hospital.
Oh, well, you're not sick, are you?
No, I'm here to see my son. How's Billy Joe?
Oh, well, I think he's just got a bad case of nerves.
Well, what happened to him?
He collapsed yesterday after the Phil Roberts show.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, it's understandable, really. See, Billy Joe and Phil never really got along, and then earlier this week, Phil Roberts showed up drunk, and then Billy Joe got real upset about the way Phil Roberts and Mrs. Wheeler were treating Paige yesterday on the show, so...
So he's here for tests, huh?
Yeah, since they don't know what's wrong with him, they're just going to explore.
Well, I hope you'll let me know what the results are.
I will. Thank you for your concern.
Not at all.
You said you're here to see your son?
Yes, I am. Oh, Paige.
Oh, hi, Paige.
Hi, Ruby.
Well, I was just on my way down to the cafeteria. Can I bring you anything?
No, thank you.
Okay, see you later.
How's Dennis?
He's doing very well.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I was very worried when Nita told me that you'd called and asked me to meet you here. I thought something had happened.
No, something has happened. Dennis would like to talk to you.
Marshall Ranch. No, Miss Kate's over at the church. Yes, and they finished the renovations yesterday, and they'll have services there on Sunday. Yeah, I'm glad too. Okay, I'll tell her you called. Bye.
Looks like somebody's keeping you well stocked in crossword puzzle magazines.
That's Dad. He's paying me back for all the crossword puzzles I loaded him down with when he was in the hospital.
I hope you don't stay in here long enough to read all of those.
Oh, I don't think there's any danger of that. So how's everything going at the boutique?
Oh, all right.
When's the grand opening?
In a week.
I understand my mother's been giving you some trouble.
Did Elliot tell you that?
I saw the Phil Roberts show yesterday. Look, I'm sorry.
Can't blame you for Iris's obsessions.
Well, I still feel slightly to blame for all of it. Has she tried anything else?
I'd really rather not talk about it, Dennis.
I want to help, Paige. I mean that. Look, I'll talk to my mother.
No, please. I don't think that would be a good idea.
Do you remember when we first met at the top of the World Club?
Seems like years ago, doesn't it?
Did you love me then?
I came to love you, Dennis.
But you didn't love me at first. You married me for my money?
Hate me, don't you?
I don't hate you. But it does make me angry to think I was used.
I understand. And I think I deserve your anger.
Oh, please, Paige. Don't put all the blame and guilt on yourself. That's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to figure out what my part in all of this was. I'm trying to understand why I did the things I did.
All right. But you have to believe something, Dennis.
What?
That I loved you very much. And in a very different way. I still love you now.
Yeah. Well, right now, I don't feel like someone to be loved.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry I'm late. It's okay. What's wrong? Nothing. Rena, I know you better than that. Now tell me what's bothering you.
I just had a unpleasant discussion with Mom.
About what?
The interview.
Is she still opposed to it?
She says she's going to cancel the interview unless I promise not to mention that Justin framed Ryan.
Honey, I think she has a point.
Jenny, that's the only reason I'm doing the interview.
I know, but Justin's unimportant anymore.
I think it is.
Ryan doesn't think so.
Well, I think it's important that people know just what kind of person Justin Marshall really is.
Why?
So they'll never be in a position to hurt us again.
Honey, he's not a threat to us anymore.
He's gotten away with an awful lot, Ginny. There's no stopping him now.
He's out of World Oil. You've taken over his position. Why don't you just forget about Justin and concentrate on more positive things? You told me that you wanted to talk about getting more women into World Oil, to have them have the same pay as men do. Why don't you talk about those things?
Maybe I'll just cancel the interview.
I think you should do it, Rena. Just be yourself and say what you believe in. Please don't get into a cat fight about Justin.
I wasn't going to get into a cat fight.
That's what Margaret's hoping for. So don't let it happen.
Where's the album? I knew I was working on it in here.
So did the doctor finish all the tests this morning?
Yeah, all the tests they're going to do right now. As far as I'm concerned, I've had enough tests to last me the next 10 years.
Hi. Sorry I'm late.
Well, where were you?
Well, I went down to the cafeteria. I met this young intern, so we discussed your case.
Oh, you going to medical school now?
Come on, Billy Joe.
Well, you were down there discussing my case. I've been waiting for you so we can go over to the studio.
Oh, well, I thought you weren't going to go to the studio.
I changed my mind.
You never did tell us what the doctor said was wrong with you.
That's because he didn't find anything wrong.
Well, he must have said something.
Well, he agrees with Ruby. He thinks it's just probably a case of nerves.
Elliot. Hello, Billy Joe.
Oh, come on, Ruby. We were just leaving. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Elliot, have you seen Dr. Jeffries? I stopped by his office. They told me he was making rounds.
He's supposed to meet me here. Why do you want to see him?
Well, I want to talk to him about Dennis's progress, of course, before I go in to see Dennis.
In my opinion, I don't think you ought to see Dennis at all.
I don't want your opinion.
I think the fight you and Dennis had over the showing of Page's film has done as much as anything to cause this nervous collapse. I think you ought to give him a little time before you confront him.
I'm not going to confront him. I'm going to see how he is.
Dennis is coming along very well, thank you, slowly but surely.
But if it's all the same to you, I'd just as soon wait for a professional opinion.
Oh, you'll be pleased to know, if you don't already, that 2 more charities have turned Page down since the show yesterday.
You're right, I am pleased.
Oh, you put on quite a show, didn't you?
Did I? I didn't think I was performing. I thought I was just being myself.
I think you deserve a special award.
I'm going to see Dennis, find out how soon I can take him out of this place.
I wouldn't go in there just yet.
And why not?
Because someone is in there with him at the moment.
Who?
Page.
No, thanks. Are you okay? Sure. How's Lurleen?
Well, I can't seem to get her to leave the house.
Did you ask her to come into town with you today?
Yes, I asked her to see the show, go shopping, have lunch, but even that didn't work.
Well, I would imagine that the ranch is the only place that she feels safe in.
I know, but she can't hide there forever.
She just needs a little time, Ginny.
I know that. I just hate leaving her alone so long.
You know what? I think you're being overprotective.
If I would have been a little more overprotective of Stephen, maybe Barrett wouldn't have taken him away from me.
Ginny, you promised you wouldn't do this. No more blaming yourself about Steve.
I know.
Okay. Did Lurleen talk to you about Bubba?
No, but she promised she'd talk to me tonight.
I think that would be the best thing for her. She's got to get it out of her system. And she trusts you.
Well, I hope it'll help.
Rena, I'm so sorry if I've kept you waiting.
Hello, Margaret. I'd like you to meet my good friend, Ginny Connor. Connor? Yes, she is Ryan Connor's wife.
Hello, Margaret.
Hello, Jenny. We'll be ready to tape in 15 minutes. Now, have you seen my show?
Once or twice.
I assume my assistant explained the format of the show to you.
Yes, she did.
I'll try to make it as easy as possible for you.
I'll bet you will.
I've got to check a couple of things with my producer in the control room.
Oh, go right ahead. We're just fine.
Is there a phone around here I could use?
Sure, right over there.
I'm going to call her later, make sure she's okay.
Okay. David, maybe Mrs. Stecker would like to go to makeup.
I just came from makeup.
Oh, all right.
Marshall Ranch.
Oh, hi, honey. It's Jenny.
Oh, hi, Jenny.
How you doing?
Fine.
Did you ever find those filler sheets for the photo album that you were looking for? I can bring you some from town if you want.
Well, I found one pack, but now I can't find the album.
Well, weren't you working on them in your bed?
Well, that's what I thought.
Well, then they have to be someplace.
I know. I'll find it.
Now, you said you had one pack. Do you need more?
Yeah, maybe one more. There sure are a lot of pictures.
Okay, well, then I'll bring you home some, okay?
Okay, how'd the show go?
They haven't even started taping yet, but Rena looks beautiful.
Oh, she always looks beautiful.
I know. And she'll do just fine.
Oh, sure, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Listen, have you heard from Kate yet?
Well, yeah, she called earlier. They're getting everything fixed up for Sunday.
Oh, good. And I want you to be sure and eat something.
I will.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
I'm okay, Jenny. You don't have to keep on calling.
I know that. I just want to keep in touch. You don't mind, do you?
No, I don't mind. I just don't want to be a bother to you.
Honey, you're not a bother. As a matter of fact, would you do me a big favor?
Well, sure. What is it?
Well, when I took Songbird out for a ride this morning, I noticed that she was limping slightly. So Guy said that he would check with the vet. If you could call Guy for me and see if he could take a look at her, I'd appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay. Thanks a lot, honey.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, is Guy there? Okay, I'll call back later. Thanks.
Your family's very prominent here in Houston, isn't it? I mean, your mother owns this station. Your father is a prominent attorney.
Yes, I would say the family is well known.
Do you think that's the reason you were made a vice president of World Oil?
It certainly helped.
You know, I'm surprised you'd admit that.
Why not? It happens to be the truth. Iris Wheeler is my friend, and she did nominate me. Fortunately, the board members had enough confidence in my abilities to elect me.
The majority of board members of World Oil are men.
Yes, that's right.
So being a beautiful woman also helped.
You know, you're a rather attractive woman yourself, Miss Hanson. Would you say that this interview show is because of those reasons?
No, I certainly
You see,
do
there
not
you've
think-
already answered your own question.
Well, Rena, here you are, a beautiful young woman in a man's world. Do you ever think that this could possibly lead to difficult situations of, let's say, the romantic kind?
I don't think so. I handle business as business, and my personal life as my personal life.
But men, and notoriously oil men, can be very insistent.
You're in the television business. That is a field that's dominated by men. Would you say that you've had difficult situations of the romantic kind?
Touché. Well, tell us, Rena, what are your objectives at World Oil?
I've already accomplished my first.
What was that?
To see that Ryan Connor was fully exonerated of all charges of misappropriating funds at World Oil. As a matter of fact, the board of directors have asked him to come back as president, but he has declined. Of course, you know that because you covered that story for KVIK.
Yes, I did.
Aren't you pleased that he was exonerated?
Of course I am.
I thought you would.
Now tell us, what are your other objectives at World Oil?
I'd like to see more women in the field. I would like to have equal pay for equal work for those women who are already in the field.
Are you actively involved in the women's movement?
No, but that doesn't mean that I can't see discrimination when it exists. And right now I'm in a very good position to do something about it, and I will.
Well, here you are with your movie star looks, your poise, your social background, your wealth. Rena, why do you want to work? And why in the oil business?
A challenge. I like challenges. And I am hopeful that I'll be able to do something good.
Oil companies are noted for their profits, not their good works.
You're right about that. But if we could focus our attention on finding ways of providing energy that wouldn't ravish the land, that would be something good, wouldn't it?
Rena, we've all heard those promises before.
And I always keep my promises.
What do you mean Paige is in with Dennis?
I mean just what I said.
How dare she?
Dennis asked to see her.
I don't believe that for a minute. It's too preposterous.
You may think so, but your son doesn't.
This is all you're doing, isn't it?
Iris, I am not in the mood today for one of your tantrums, so please just spare me.
I'm hardly having a tantrum, as you call it. I'm concerned about Dennis's health.
If you are truly concerned, then I'd appreciate you not saying anything to him when you go in there.
I told you before. I believe in speaking with professionals. That's why I will discuss Dennis's situation with his doctor, not with him.
Good.
That doctor must be out of his mind.
I thought you respected a professional opinion.
I do, but there has to be a mistake.
No, there isn't. Dr. Jeffries is of the opinion that Dennis will do very well if he talks this out with Paige.
But he's only recently divorced her. I hardly think... Why am I wasting my time talking to you?
I didn't ask you to, Iris. It was your choice.
Dennis's doctor is the one I should be talking to.
I wish you would, and I wish you'd listen to him.
I suppose that was all over me.
It's not important.
I wish it weren't, Elliot, but that woman is trying to destroy me.
Well, we're just not going to let her do that, are we? How is Dennis?
I don't know. I feel so awkward around him. It's as if we'd never been close. In some ways, I feel closer to him than ever.
I think I understand.
He'll always be very special to me, Elliot.
He still loves you, doesn't he?
I still love him, too.
Do you think there's a possibility that you'd ever go back to him?
No. Dennis would never want me back.
What do you want then, Paige?
What Dennis and I had is over, Elliot. I don't know what's going to take its place, but I do know that that is gone forever.
Hello?
Hi, darling.
I see you've become a TV star lately.
Why do you say that?
I saw you on the Phil Roberts show yesterday.
I didn't know you were a fan of that show.
I'm not.
You just caught it by accident?
Got a lot of time sitting around this hospital room. I watch a little television.
Well, I suppose you also saw your ex-wife on the show.
Paige does have a name, you know.
I know her name, but she's using yours. I wish she'd go back to using her own Marshall name again.
But she's still legally Paige Carrington.
I just saw her in the reception area.
Did you say hello?
You know I didn't. She was in to see you, wasn't she?
Yeah?
What did she want this time?
Nothing.
I think it was a very bad idea on someone's part to let her come here.
Well, I'll have to take full credit for that one.
Oh, I can't believe you'd want to see her after what she's put you through.
I think Paige and I have evened up that score.
I don't. You're the one who's in the hospital. You're the one who was sent to prison for murder. She's out there running around with the man you considered your father all your life.
Yeah, but Paige has been through a lot, too. I mean, look what I did to her, getting you to throw that party so I could show her film.
You were only redressing the wrong she did to you. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's not what you said before.
The only thing I objected to, Dennis, was the way you were going about it. Now, I'm bringing this up because I want to help you now.
Is that what you were doing on the Phil Roberts show yesterday, helping me?
Yes, I was.
Well, if that's the case, I don't think I need any more help from you.
I see you've been talking to Elliot.
Dad never mentions Paige to me.
I find that hard to believe.
Why?
It's obvious she still has her claws in him. Every time he looks at her, his eyes glaze over.
Look, I think that's enough.
I'm just trying to show you that Elliot's counsel isn't totally unbiased.
And yours is, of course.
I think so.
Well, I don't need you to tell me anything anymore. You see, all my life you've been telling me something, but I'm not going to let you lead it for me anymore.
I'm not trying to.
Of course you were. From now on, I'm going to make my own decisions, good or bad. And from now on, I'm going to make my own mistakes. You see, at least I know that if I make the mistakes, they're my own. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
I'm trying to put my life together right now, and you're making that very difficult.
She's poisoned your mind against me, hasn't she?
I'm not talking about Paige. I'm only talking about you. Because I'm not going to be able to get well as long as you keep tearing at the edges the way you've been doing. So right now, I'd appreciate it if you'd walk right out that door and leave me alone.
Hey, Lurleen, how you doing?
Just fine.
Just checking.
Do you want a sandwich or something?
No, thanks.
You know, I really don't think Bubba's going to come out here to the ranch. Miss Kate told him she'd shoot him if she saw him. He's probably over at the Dewdrop Inn getting drunk.
Well, probably so, but we're going to keep a lookout anyway.
Thanks, Rusty. I appreciate it.
The next time that I tell you I'm going to do an interview show, will you lock me up, please?
Why, honey? I thought you were terrific.
Oh, you didn't think I was too pompous, did you?
No.
I wanted so much to get the best of Margaret. And all of a sudden, I started thinking about Max.
Max?
It was so strange. I was thinking, what if Max were watching the show right now? What would I want to say to him that would make him proud of me?
I think Max would have been very proud of you. I certainly was.
Honey, I liked the interview very much.
I didn't embarrass you, did I?
No, not at all.
Good. I kept my promise. I didn't mention Justin.
Yes, you did, and thank you.
I think I'll check and see what's happening at the office.
Well, what do you think?
I think the battle with Justin is finally winding down.
I think so, too.
Did you see Dennis?
I didn't see my son. I saw some stranger in that room.
What are you talking about?
You know perfectly well what I'm talking about. And I know what you're doing. You and that awful woman. You're turning Dennis against me. You're trying to take him away from me.
Iris, I'm completely confused by all this. What is it?
It's you and Paige.
We've done absolutely nothing. You're completely paranoid where Dennis is concerned.
You may think so if you like. You may also think that you and that woman are going to set up housekeeping and live happily forever after. But there's a big surprise in store for you, Elliot. Because she's not going to be around long enough to set up housekeeping for anyone.
Are you ready to go?
I would like to call Lurleen and check on her. Can I use your phone, baby?
Oh, of course, Jenny. Here we go.
Mama, would you like to join us for lunch?
Oh, I'd love to, honey, but I can't. I have a lunch date.
Can't you cancel it?
No, I can't. If I did, the senator would kill me. I've already postponed it twice already.
There's no answer.
Oh, I told Jenny I'd call Guy about Songbird. The phone's dead.
You got the tape?
Right here.
Great. Okay. Hey, big brother. Look, can you wait in the green room? I'll see you later, okay?
No problem.
How you feeling?
Oh, a whole lot better since the hospital told me they couldn't find anything wrong.
I should think that would make you feel a whole lot worse.
I guess you're right. I guess it was all just a bunch of nerves. But I gotta stop letting this place get to me, that's all.
That means you gotta stop letting Phil get to you.
That means not letting anything get to me, Ruby. That means for me to stop being co-host of the show. That's what I'm gonna do. The main thing I gotta do here is just to relax a little bit, that's all.
I think you're right, Billy Joe. The last thing we want is for you to end up in the hospital. Though I think that would make Phil very happy.
Aha, what a great surprise. Hey, how'd the taping go, huh?
Not bad. You managed to slip in a promo for your innocence.
Oh, really? Well, thank you, Rena.
Rena and I are just about ready to go to lunch. How would you like to escort Houston's two most desirable ladies?
Well, I can't think of anything I'd rather do. You want to go right now?
I'd like to use your phone and call her lead.
Sure. Well, did you get those leases on the Mississippi line?
Not yet.
So what do you think of the oil business so far?
So far, not bad.
There's no answer. Lily must be outside and can't hear the phone ring.
Oh, excuse me. Hello?
It's dead. Oh, I better go down to the stable and tell Guy.
Hello there, Lurleen.
Well, if it's money you want, I could write you out a check right now.
Oh, Ruby. You owe me interest now.
I don't owe you any interest, Bo. Half that money was mine, and I've only had it for a couple months.
No, I don't suppose that you want anybody to find out about our little secret, now, do you?
How much interest are you talking about?
Now, that's what I haven't quite figured out yet. But when I do, I'll let you know.
I don't have very much money, you know.
That's not the way I hear it.
Then you heard it wrong.
I read in Billboard magazine Elena Decker's brother Ricky's doing real good now.
What were you doing with a copy of Billboard?
Well, I like to keep up with what's going on in the music business. Matter of fact, that's how I tracked you down. According to the article I read, you got Ricky Decker a job. Singing at the top of the World Club right here in Houston.
Yeah, well, Ricky's just starting out and he's not making very much.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, I'll just have to wait around here until he does. I missed you, Ruby. You shouldn't have run out on me like that.
I missed you too.
You owe me a lot, Ruby. I came to collect.
We'll work something out.
Oh, you bet we will.
I'll tell you what. You stay here, and I have to go by the coop and take care of some business. On my way back, I can stop at the bank.
Why don't I just go with you?
I don't think that's a very good idea.
Well, I'd like to meet your brother.
It's not a very good idea either.
Why not?
Well, I'd have too much explaining to do. You stay here. I'll be back as fast as I can.
What's that Bo guy doing here?
I asked him to come. I thought maybe I could get him a job on the show.
Are you serious?
Sure.
Phil Roberts ain't gonna give no friend of yours a job. Not after the things he said about you.
Phil knows those things he said about me weren't true. I didn't try to get him drunk. Besides, I'm not going to ask Phil. I'm going to ask Ben.
Look, Ruby, it's Phil Roberts' show. Someone's gonna have to talk to him sooner or later.
Yeah, well, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it.
I just hope it ain't blown up by the time we get there.
You're forgetting something, darling.
Oh, what's that?
Phil didn't want you or Ricky on the show either. But that didn't keep you from being on now, did it?
Well, I'm just telling you, you're headed for trouble. Why are you sticking your neck out for this Bo guy anyways?
Money, honey.
You managing him now?
That's right.
What does Ricky think about that?
Well, Ricky doesn't really know about it. But I don't think he thinks anything about it one way or the other.
Well, I wouldn't be too sure about that.
It's just business, Billy Joe.
All I know is how I'd feel if you were my girl, Ruby, and some guy like Bo was hanging around you all the time.
Yeah, well, Ricky's not the jealous type.
Everybody's the jealous type, little sister. Everybody is. Now, look, I don't give one hoot about Ricky's feelings. But I'm telling you this for your own sake. I don't want you to be surprised at his reaction.
Hello, Dr. Douglas. Hi, Joe.
Hi. Well, I'll check in with you later. Don't go, Doc.
Joe doesn't want me to be here.
Dr. Douglas could give an order not to allow any visitors, couldn't you, Doc? Well, I could, but that wouldn't make me very happy.
Dr. Douglas, how much longer until Joe gets out of here?
A week? Maybe 10 days at the most. A week sounds more like it. Feel pretty good now. Well, let's just take it one day at a time. I'll see you later.
Bye-bye. Joe, if you're getting out of here that soon, we've got to do something about getting you a good lawyer.
We don't have to do anything, Alea. The state's going to provide me with a public defender.
That's not good enough, Joe. Look, they have a lot of cases to handle. They might do their best, but they have only so much time for each one.
Elena, we've been through all of this already.
I'm not giving up, Joe. I'm going to go talk to Ryan Connor, and I will talk to you later. I love you.
Okay, Stryker, yeah. I'll let you know as soon as I hear anything. Your daughter is standing here. Would you like to talk to her? Come here.
Hi, Daddy.
How you doing, Mrs. Connor?
I'm okay, considering everything that's happened.
Now we're going to find Steve, we're going to bring him home, and Lurleen is going to be just fine. You'll see.
You've told me that so often, I think you're starting to believe it, aren't you?
I've always believed it.
I love you.
I love you.
Okay. Bye-bye, Daddy.
How is Stryker?
At the moment, he is furious. He just got the bill for the plane that I chartered from Venezuela to Houston for the board meeting.
Oh, no.
Well, now, if he'd let me use his plane in the first place, I wouldn't have had to charter one, right? I know what you two are thinking. Anyway, he said that as long as he's going to be in Washington for at least another week, that he's sending the plane here, and if you get word as to where Barrett has taken Steve, you're more than welcome to use the plane.
Well, thanks, Rena. That's real nice.
Have you talked to Cody?
Yeah, he seems to feel that Steve and Barrett are still in Yellowstone Park, although they haven't been spotted since yesterday.
They could be there for weeks.
I would bet anything that Steve is anxious to get back to school now. And he's got to be missing basketball and track.
I hope so.
When are Ashley and Justin getting back from their honeymoon?
I don't know. I hope they don't come back for a while, though. I really would like to stay out to the ranch a couple more days and make sure that Lurleen's all right.
Has she told you anything more about Bubba trying to rape her?
She promised to talk to me about it tonight.
You don't act like you're too glad to see me, sugar.
Baba, please.
I told you that I'd make you pay for having me arrested, didn't I? Didn't I?
What you did was wrong.
No, I didn't do nothing. I just tried to be real friendly like. No need for you to be frightened of me, sugar. I ain't gonna hurt you unless you make me. Now you be a good little girl and everything's gonna be just fine.
Baba, please.
Miss Kate's gone to church. Jenny's downtown somewhere, and that boy they left Gardner Place, why he's tied up to a cottonwood tree out cold. So there's nobody here but us chickens.
Baba, just get out of here, please.
No, I ain't going nowhere. Now it's up to you. You be a good little girl or a bad little girl. Don't make me no never mind. We're gonna get to know each other a whole lot better before I...
Ben, the least you can do is talk to Bo.
I don't have time to talk to anybody.
Then let him sing for you.
The last thing we need on this show is another singer.
Ben, you know very well that Bo is not another singer. Now, he writes his own material.
I just don't think Phil's going to go for it, Ruby.
Well, I know that, but that's why I want you to talk to him, because I know you can talk him into it.
Now, don't put me in that position, okay? Now, you know just as well as I do that Phil is in no mood to be talked into anything by anybody.
Okay, well, then at least just listen to this tape of Bo singing his own material, all right? And if you don't like it, that'll be that.
You know, I have this strange feeling that that won't be that at all. But I'll listen to it.
Great. That's all I want you to do. Then you can talk to Bo.
Ruby.
You look so bad, old buddy. Considering you were sitting in the Gulf Coast Hospital not a few hours ago. Damn, when are they gonna learn I take my coffee regular? Oh, don't tell me it's gonna be one of them days. I just have to get my own half and half from the coffee cart.
I heard about Iris's appearance on the Phil Roberts show yesterday.
Whatever you do, don't mention it to my mother. She's beside herself.
Oh, why?
Well, because she feels that Iris tricked her into getting her on the show. If she had known that Paige was going to be on, she never would have agreed.
Iris really gave Paige a hard time, didn't she?
No, Phil Roberts gave her a hard time. Iris just sat there smiling sweetly.
Oh, I'm sure she started the ball rolling.
She did.
You know, I'll bet Paige is using the money she got from selling her share of the ranch to Justin for financing that boutique.
She must have, because she didn't take a dime from Dennis when she divorced him.
you think Paige is going to have any luck with that boutique?
Nope. Because Iris is going to do her best to make sure that it fails.
Rena, look, whatever you feel about Paige, I think we should give her a lot of credit for helping me out.
For helping you.
She's the one who told me about Pete Parnell being the last person to see Alex before he had his first stroke.
Well, I don't think that's such a big deal.
If it wasn't for Paige, we wouldn't have been able to fit together the pieces of the puzzle about the misuse of World Oil funds.
Listen, Ryan, if Paige had told someone the night that she saw Parnell leave Alex's suite, Alex might not have been murdered.
Rena, if it
It's
wasn't...
the truth. She waited until she had an axe to grind with Parnell before she thought it was her duty to come to you with the information. I wouldn't give her any medals for that. She was just getting back at Parnell. Where's TJ?
Oh, he's in court. Should be back soon.
Let's go for lunch, huh?
I want to call Lurleen.
Sure. Here you go. Rena, if Iris is out to get Paige, you'd be very wise not to get involved.
Don't worry, Ryan. I'm going to be very careful with Iris after what she did to you.
There's still no answer. Oh, Lord, what am I going to do? I've got to keep him from getting in here.
When's that crook gonna learn that I take cream in my coffee? For 5 weeks now, she's been delivering my coffee, and every day I have to go out to that coffee cart to get my own half and half.
Okay, but Billy Joe, you said you weren't going to let anything upset you today, remember? I don't think it's worth getting sick over 1 cup of coffee.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know why I let these little things get to me. Well, how'd your talk go with Ben?
Went all right.
That mean they're gonna hire Bo?
Well, not exactly.
Well, what does it mean?
Well, it means that Ben said that he would listen to Bo's cassette.
Well, did it sound promising?
I don't know. You know how Ben is. Such a mouse. That's why I thought maybe you could help me out, Billy Joe.
Oh, no.
All I'm asking is you just talk to Ben. That's
Look,
all.
Ruby,
Just talk
as
to him.
far as I know, Bo could be the next Elvis Presley, which is all fine and dandy. But I'm not going to get involved in any more of your schemes to get him hired here. Now, look, if you do that, I wish you lucky, but you're going to have to do it on your own.
Well, thanks a lot.
Look, you're Bo's manager, not me. You're the one supposed to be doing all the work.
Look, Billy Joe, one little word from you could do so much because Ben really trusts
I'm
you.
not going to do it, Ruby. And
Billy
that's
Joe,
fine.
I don't ask you for very many favors.
Look, no, damn it, not me. Now, I just appreciate all this. Now look at you, me.
Oh, don't worry about
it.
it.
On my
I'll get
notes.
I'll ask Ryan to find the Railroad Commission ruling. Okay, what else? All right, I'm on my way to lunch. Thank you, bye. Ryan, did you have one of your clerks check on the ruling, please?
Sure. Now, where would you all like to go for lunch, huh?
Why don't you let Rita decide?
Any place but the Top of the World Club.
Well, really, what's wrong with the Top of the World Club?
Because I'm tired of it. It's so convenient that I find myself eating there every day. What's wrong, Jenny?
There's no answer at the ranch. Nobody's answering. I don't understand it. I told Lurleen to stay close to the phone. Hello, repairs? Yes, I'd like you to check a number on for me, please, at Marshall Village. Sure, I'll hold on. Could you check a number for me? Marshall Village, it's KL58972.
Ryan? What about the assault charges against Bubba? What's happening?
Not much, I'm afraid.
Is it going to go to trial?
Well, I'm reluctant to take it to trial.
Why not?
Because I don't think Lurleen has a chance in hell of getting Bubba convicted. Not based on the information she gave the sheriff. She just isn't telling us enough. Maybe she'll tell Ginny something that'll strengthen her case.
Thank
sure
you.
hope so.
The phone's out of order.
Well, are they sending someone out to fix it?
Yes.
Who are you calling now?
Guy, he should be down at the stables. No answer. We have lunch at the ranch?
Sure.
Listen, you're not still worried about Lurleen, are you?
Well, yes, I am. I just don't like her being out there without a phone. Can you come with us?
No, I'm afraid I have too much to do now. But I'll tell you what. How about me cooking us all steaks for supper, huh?
That's a deal.
Hey, Rena, you're invited too.
Thank you. I accept.
Come on, you want to fight me? I'd like to fight, huh? Come on. You're only going to make it hard on yourself, sugar. You like me, you know you like me, don't you? You know it. I knew it the first time I ever looked at you. Now, come on. Come on, you be a good little girl, huh?
I'll go get you another coffee, Billy Joe.
No, I don't want another cup of coffee.
How about an orange juice, something like that?
Yeah, why don't you have an orange juice? You know, you can get them from that little cart. It's over in Studio 5, I can
No,
tell you.
look, I'll get it myself. If Ben or Lacey show up, just tell them that I'll be right back.
Okay.
Damn.
What's wrong with you?
Well, Billy Joe keeps wasting those pills.
Did you put pills in his coffee?
Sure, but they...
I told you not to give him any pills. You said you wouldn't.
They ain't gonna hurt him, Ruby.
They put him in the hospital, Bo. I don't want my brother sick.
He's not gonna be sick much longer if this plan works.
You come up with another plan, one that doesn't hurt my brother.
Well, sure, send her in. Listen, is that Macaulay brief ready yet? Okay, great. Hi, Elena.
Hi.
Come on in, won't you be seated?
Thank you. I really appreciate you seeing me like that.
Oh, my pleasure. Now, how you doing, huh?
I have a problem, and I was hoping you could help me with it.
What is it?
I want to hire a really good lawyer to handle Joe's defense.
That should be no problem. There are an awful lot of good lawyers here in Houston.
Yeah, but the trouble is, Joe doesn't want me to.
Doesn't want you to. Why not?
Oh, he's given up. He feels that he's going to go to prison whether he has a good defense or not.
Well, he did confess to killing Chris Shaw, didn't he?
That was an accident. He killed him in self-defense. You don't believe that, do you?
It does sound a little ludicrous on the surface. I mean, you have to admit that, right?
Yeah, I know. But it is the truth.
You're talking about a man who kidnapped you twice, shot your brother, and took $1 million worth of drug money. Now, are you telling me that all of these things were just accidents?
No, I know how it sounds, but I want the court to have a chance to hear his side of the story. I don't want him to spend the rest of his life in prison. He's changed, and I think he deserves the chance to prove that. Will you take the case, Ryan?
Elena, I just haven't practiced criminal law in years. I haven't handled a criminal case here in Texas, so I don't think I'm really the man for you. But I would be happy to recommend certain lawyers that might take the case, but only on one condition.
What's that?
Joe has to want to be helped.
Will you talk to him, Ryan? Please?
Sure, I'll talk to him.
Come on. Come on, sweetheart. We're gonna go for a ride. Come on. Why don't you scream all you want? Nobody can hear you. I'm gonna take you inside, and you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna end up like that kitten of yours. I'm gonna kill you, but first we're gonna have a good time. Come on. You're just a wild heifer, you know that? Oh, she's gonna see you. Go on, get in there. Ow.
Yes. No. No, look, I don't care what your union rep... Excuse us, could we have a little bit of privacy? Thank you. I don't care what your union representative said. You have to be here today. This is not a holiday. It's not a sick day. Okay? Okay.
Ben, did you listen to the tape?
Yes, I listened to a little bit of it.
So what did you think?
It was all right.
Great! Then you're going to give Bo a chance to appear on the show?
I don't really think I can do that, Ruby.
Well, if you like the tape.
Well, it's not really up to me. Phil has the last word on all these things.
Not always. I mean, he didn't have the last word that time with Ricky and Billy Joe appearing on the show.
Ricky and Billy Joe were a special case. You know that. They were only supposed to appear on the show once, but there was such a large response that we couldn't help but bring them back again.
And again and again. So you see, if you take a chance on Bo, you're going to come up with another winner.
Look, it was a fluke.
Look, Phil,
Ruby,
I
just
know
forget
that Bo
it.
could come through with the same response. I know it.
Don't, just drop it,
Look,
Ruby. It's no use.
You have people dropping out of the show all the time, right? You have cancellations and stuff. I mean, that's how Billy Joe got on with Elena.
Look, Ruby.
So all I'm asking is that you just slip Bo in one time when somebody cancels. That's all. Just sometimes.
I can't do it.
Why not?
Because while I was listening to the tape, Phil came in, and he said that there was no way in the world that he was going to let another friend of yours appear on his show.
But Ben...
You remember Ryan Connor?
Hey, Joe. I want to thank you again for arranging that meeting with Parnell.
Yeah, I remember seeing you when I came out of surgery.
That's right. You weren't focusing too well at the time. Glad to see you're feeling stronger.
Yeah, Dr. Douglas thinks I'll get out inside of a week.
Maybe 10 days.
Well, looks like they're going to send me up to Huntsville.
Joe, if you have a good lawyer, you won't stay there long.
You know, you're entitled to the best defense you can get.
Look, we've got some money, Joe, and after that, I'll find some way of getting some more.
Elena, I don't want you to do that.
Why not?
Because they're going to put me away no matter what happens, and Elena's just got to face that fact.
No one's denying that, Joe, but Elena's concerned about how much time you're going to have to serve. There's a big difference between 5 years and 20 years, right?
Or 1 and 5 years.
Mr. Connor, I appreciate you coming by the hospital. But I'm sure whoever the state appoints to defend my case is going to do a pretty good job, don't you think?
Oh, I'm sure of it. But if you don't care, if you've given up on yourself already, then no one, not a court-appointed lawyer or one you've hired yourself, is going to knock themselves out in your defense. Now, Elena loves you. She's willing to fight for you, but you're going to have to help her. Joe, just think it over and talk it over with Elena. If you do decide you want a lawyer, give me a call and I'll help you find one, okay?
It's over now, honey. Rena's gone to get the sheriff. You're safe here. There's nothing for you to be afraid of. Sit down.
The sheriff is on the way. He said he was going to call an ambulance.
Rusty, he's still alive, isn't he?
Yes, I think so.
The guy said he was going to call the telephone company to have someone come out here to repair the lines that Bubba cut.
Did you call Ryan?
Yes, he's on his way. Is there anything I can get you, honey?
I think that Lurleen should go upstairs and lie down.
Lurleen?
You're not going to kill me! You're not!
Lurleen, now listen to me. That is not Bubba. That's Rusty. Look at him. You can tell that it's Rusty. Bubba isn't going to hurt you anymore, Lurleen.
He tore my blouse. He ripped it.
Reno, get you another blouse.
What if he regains consciousness?
Don't worry. I'll take care of him. It'll be my pleasure.
You watch Bubba. I'll get the door.
I sure am sorry I scared her like that.
It's all right. It's not your fault, Rusty. Are you okay?
Yeah, I got a headache, but outside of that, I'm okay. I'm just lucky the crazy loon didn't kill me.
Come on in.
Did Bubba rape Lurleen?
No, I don't think so.
The sheriff is here now. Do you want to talk to him? Do you want to tell him what happened?
Now what is it?
I just talked to Ben. He refuses to allow Bo to appear on the show.
Well, did he listen to the cassette you gave him?
He didn't just listen to it, he gave it to Phil Roberts to play.
Well, what did Phil say?
Phil said no friend of mine can ever appear on this show again.
Well, does that really surprise you?
Billy Joe, look, you've got to just talk to Ben for me. Please, you've got to just
No, I'm
say
not
something
going to do it, Ruby, and that's final. Why is it so all-fired important for you to get Bo on the show anyways?
I already told you why.
Yeah, you told me it's for the money, but you already got 2 clients on the show as it is. I mean, you got me and you got Ricky, and if I were you, I'd worry more about us and quit spreading yourself so thin.
Look, Billy Joe, I am a manager, and a manager needs clients. Now, I'm not going to get rich off of you and Ricky.
Well, if you're so set on managing Bo, you're just going to have to get him work somewhere else.
No, the Phil Roberts show is the best gig in town, and I want to get it for him, and besides, it pays the best.
Look, Bo's just going to have to work his way up. He's going to have to establish his own reputation. I mean, after all, Ricky didn't make his career overnight.
You got any brilliant suggestions?
Well, yeah, sure. As a matter of fact, you could have him substitute for Elena a couple nights a week at the Coop.
Billy Joe, what's wrong?
It's coming back again.
What's coming back?
I'm feeling dizzy.
Oh, no, Billy Joe.
It's coming back. That feeling. Go get the doctor, quick!
Okay, just a minute. Help! Somebody get a doctor, quick!
That's far enough. You said we were meeting at the Elephant House.
I changed my mind. The money. Give it to Elena. Over here. Thank you.
Okay. You got your money. Now you can give us our tickets and passports.
Sorry, Joe.
Hey, look, we're leaving Houston tonight. There's not going to be any way anyone's going to find out that you killed Alex Wheeler. We had an agreement.
Sorry, Joe, there's no way I can afford to leave you alive. You know too many things. Things you don't even know you know.
Like what?
Like Bernie.
Bernie?
Bernie was still alive that afternoon when we left the trailer, Joe. I went back and finished him off. He threatened to go to the police and blow the whole operation.
Well, they can't hang that on you.
Not after I finished you off. But to prove what a gentleman I am, we'll begin with the lady.
been here?
Oh, about an hour.
Oh, you should be out doing other things.
What things?
I don't know. Whatever normal people do. Anything other than sitting in a hospital room watching me sleep.
I like watching you sleep. Have you done any more thinking about your defense?
Yeah, I've thought about it.
And, what have you decided?
Decided you ought to turn around and walk out that door. Find yourself a nice, decent guy who loves you.
I found a nice, decent guy who loves me.
It's not enough, Elena. I'm going to pay for my mistakes. I can't ask you to wait around until I get out of prison.
You didn't ask me, Joe. You didn't have to. I love you. I'll never love anybody else. There'll never be anybody else for me, not ever. Now, if you're asking me to walk out that door because you don't want me anymore, then I'll go.
Oh, Elena.
You do love me, don't you, Joe?
You're the only good thing that's happened to me in my whole life. That's why I want you to be happy.
But, Joe, you're the only thing that makes me happy. Now, I don't want to spend the rest of my life without you. No matter how long I have to wait. Tell me that you love me, Joe.
I love you, Elena.
I will never leave you.
Is there anything else you can tell me, Lurleen?
No.
How long was Bubba in the house?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Seemed like hours. Is he dead?
No. But I can guarantee he won't try to hurt you again. He's going to be in prison a long, long time. Is there anything else you can tell me that he said, aside from he'd kill you?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right. We don't have to talk anymore now.
Come on, honey. Let's go in the kitchen.
Bubba's going to be in the hospital a long time. That sure isn't good enough for me.
Sheriff, would you please call Doc Williams and see if he could come right over?
That's a good idea. Well, there's a man working on the lines right now. They should be repaired any minute.
I'll call him from my car.
Come on, honey. It's all over now. Bubba's gone. It's all over.
How is she?
Well, she finally fell asleep. Rita's going to stay with her for a little while.
Well, just be thankful you came out here when you did.
I don't know, Ryan. I just feel bad that I left her alone for so long.
Come on, we thought she was well protected. Now, don't go blaming yourself.
Now, Ryan's right. What we have to do now is find ways to help Lurleen.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Would you like a cup of tea?
I'll get some in a minute, Kate.
Well, then I think I'll get to work. I've got some bookkeeping to do.
Well, you don't have to do that now. I'll help you with it tomorrow.
Well, thanks just the same, but I want to keep busy.
Why don't you go out to the stables with me, huh?
Okay.
Here's a letter from Steve. Dear Grandma, Dad and I are fine. I miss you and Buddy and Rena and Morning Glory. Most of all, I miss Mom. She doesn't want me to live with her anymore, but I want her to know that I love her. I'll write again soon. Love, Stephen Marshall. This letter was mailed in Montana.
Nurse, can I have some more of that orange juice?
Of course, Mr. Wright. I'll get it pretty soon.
Oh,
How are you feeling?
thanks. He stuck so many needles in me today, I feel like a pack of vampires attacked me.
I watch your show every day.
Well, you do? Well, thank you.
I do think you're cute, Mr. Wright.
Oh, I don't feel too cute right now.
42. Dr. Mahoney, 842. Dr. Kenner,
See the doctor?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
They still haven't found anything.
Ruby, even if they do find out what's making Billy Joe sick, there's no way it can be traced to us.
I told you not to give Billy Joe any pills.
Oh, come on. That stuff we're giving him is basically harmless.
The stuff you're giving him. I don't want any part of your plan.
Pumpkin, all it is a little antibiotic that my doctor friend in Nashville gave me for my infection.
Well, it sure is doing a job on Billy Joe.
Now, will you relax? I just talked to that doctor today, and he said as long as we don't give Billy Joe any more than 3 pills a day, we're all right.
Bo, we are not the ones taking the pills. And Billy Joe is definitely not all right.
Okay, you want it to end? Then we gotta figure out a way to get Phil Roberts down to the hospital here, so that the next time Billy Joe has one of his attacks, the suspicion falls on him.
Are you Billy Joe's doctor?
I am.
Could we get in to see him later?
Well, that depends on how Billy Joe is feeling.
Oh, we wouldn't stay long. We just want to cheer him up.
All right. Check in with the nursing station later.
I think I know how we can get Phil to come here.
How's Lurleen?
Oh, she's still pretty upset, honey.
That's to be expected, Ginny. Now, don't worry. I'll see that she rests. And then as soon as she's up to it, I'll find plenty of things for her to do.
I just hated to say goodbye to her.
But she understands why you have to go.
Yes, I know that. She was very happy that we found Stephen.
Look, we know where he was 3 days ago, but we just haven't found him yet.
We will.
What?
Forget the cheeseburger. 2 scrambled eggs, toast, hash browns, and bacon.
And milk.
And milk.
I got it. Listen, why aren't you in school today anyway, honey?
I haven't gotten enrolled yet. My dad has a meeting with the principal this afternoon. You are going in to see him this afternoon, aren't you, Dad?
Yes, and I'm going to talk to the basketball coach, too.
Dad, are we going to drive the car into town today? And also turn it in?
Yes. And maybe I'll buy a truck.
I think I should write to Buddy today. Tell him where we are.
Why don't you wait until you get enrolled in school? And then you can write him a long letter and tell him all about it.
Should have written to him before this.
A few more days won't matter.
What you doing?
I'm going to call Phil and tell him how Billy Joe's doing.
I don't think Phil Roberts much cares how Billy Joe's doing.
Well, he may not care personally, but he cares professionally.
What you mean?
Phil's very concerned with his career, don't you think?
Yeah, but what's that got to do with getting him to come down here?
Well, he's going to care about Billy Joe after I tell him about all the bad publicity he's going to get if he don't show up.
Now, Phil Roberts is the type of guy probably just send flowers or something like that.
Bo, Phil and Billy Joe are co-hosts. Now, it would look real bad if Phil doesn't show up to see how his co-host is doing.
Tell you the truth, Ruby, I think Phil Roberts is so damn stuck on himself, he still won't care.
Phil cares about his image more than anything else. He'd rather die than have some reporter smear a story around about how he was rude.
Yeah, that's true, Ruby, but there ain't no reporters around.
Maybe not, but after I make this call, there will be.
What time does your plane leave?
Oh, whatever time we want it to leave. That's a nice thing about flying in a private jet.
Honey, I got the man at the airport so we could leave in about an hour.
Don't worry, we have plenty of time.
How big is that town in Montana?
Well, according to the Atlas, it says Edmonds has a population of about 800.
With that many people there, we should be able to find someone who's seen Barrett and Steve.
Maybe they were just passing through and Steve wrote that letter to Kate.
Well, maybe we can find someone who's talked to them.
Listen, do you know if Barrett was in the Army with anybody from Montana?
Honey, I just can't remember anyone.
Well, I can't either. I did find some letters that Barrett had written from Vietnam, but no one from Montana was mentioned.
Well, Lisa's a pretty good lead. I just wish Steve had written on motel stationery, though.
At least he wrote. I know my son loves me.
Jenny, you should never have doubted that.
Ryan, he left without even talking to me.
That was Barrett's doing, Ginny.
Did you talk to Wanda?
Yes, she said that Buddy hasn't heard a word from Steve.
Well, I'll bet he writes to Buddy real soon.
Well, Wanda promised that she'd call if she heard anything.
Well, great. You ready to go?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Now, Kate, I want you to take real good care of Lurleen. Dr. Williams told me that she still could have those awful nightmares.
Now, don't you worry. I'll take good care of her.
And we're going to call you as soon as we get to Edmonds, all right?
All right.
Give me a kiss. See ya.
Bye-bye. Have a safe trip.
It's pretty up here in Montana, don't you think, son?
I guess so.
After we eat, I'm going to have to go to the bank and open an account if I'm going to buy a truck.
There's a bank right around the corner.
I know. John Granville gave me a letter of introduction. Thank you.
Well, how do you like Edmonds so far?
I love it.
And how do you like it?
I miss Texas.
Is that where you're from?
Yes, ma'am.
Used to have a boyfriend from Texas. Fort Worth. Know anybody in Fort Worth?
Not too many people.
Well, I guess Texas is a pretty big state.
Yes.
Well, enjoy your breakfast.
What's wrong, Steve?
I'm homesick. Miss my friends and Mom.
Well, you'll make new friends.
Not like Buddy.
You know, when I was in the Army, the hardest thing was being stationed in a place for 2 years, making new friends, and then having to leave them, move off to some other base somewhere else. Thought I'd never make any friends again. But I did. As for your mother, she's moved somewhere else, too. And, well, she doesn't have time to care about you the way she used to. She said that in her letter to me. You see, things change in life, Steve. When you can accept that, you've gone a long way towards being a man.
Hello there, Lurleen. You don't act like you're too glad to see me, sugar.
Baba, please.
I told you that I'd make you pay for having me arrested, didn't I? Didn't I?
What you did was wrong.
Oh, I didn't do nothing. I just tried to be real friendly like. No need for you to be frightened of me, sugar. I ain't gonna hurt you. Unless you make me. Now you be a good little girl. everything is gonna be just fine.
Please,
Miss
just
Kate's gone to church, Jen is downtown somewhere, and that boy that left Gardner Place, why he's tied up to a cottonwood tree out cold. So there's nobody here but us chickens.
just get out of here, please.
No, I ain't going nowhere. Now it's up to you. You be a good little girl or a bad little girl. Don't make me know never mind. We're gonna get to know each other a whole lot better before I...
Oh, Lord, what am I going to do? Gotta keep him from getting in here.
Now, come on. Come on, you be a good little girl. I'm gonna kill you, but first we're gonna have a good time. Come on! You say, wild happy, you know. Go on, get in there.
Lurleen. Honey, it's all right. It's all right. It was just a dream.
Bubba was here.
No, honey. Bubba is in the hospital. And when he gets out, he's going to be sent to prison for a long time. You don't believe that, do you?
They let him go last time.
Yes, I know. But this time he went too far. And now the district attorney has all the evidence he needs to prosecute him. Honey, would you like anything? Some tea?
No.
Well, then lie down and rest. You need to get your strength back.
Where's Jenny?
She and Ryan have gone to Montana to find Steve. She told you goodbye earlier.
Oh, yes, I remember now.
You want to have her with you, don't you?
I know that's selfish.
No, it isn't. Jenny has been a good friend to you, Lurleen. It's only natural that you should like to have her with you.
You've been a good friend too, Miss Kate. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nothing to it.
You really think Roberts is going to come?
I know he will.
How can you be so sure?
I could tell by the way he was talking to me.
Oh, I bet he didn't have many kind words for Billy Joe.
No, he didn't. And he had a few choice words for me while he was at it.
What'd he say?
I don't remember. I just let those things slide. But after he got it all out of his system, he realized how important it was for him to come down here.
Yeah. But did he say he was coming over?
Well, not exactly, but after he thinks about it, I think he'll come.
Hope you're right. Okay. So when do we give Billy Joe his next dose of pills? Now, Ruby, the plan is working just fine so far. Don't back on it now, Oh, Billy Joe would have been through all that sickness for nothing. Now, we're doing it for him, remember?
Okay. I'll go in, and I'll tell Billy Joe that Roberts is coming over for the good of the show.
Oh, I bet Billy Joe's gonna hit the ceiling when he sees Roberts.
Billy Joe doesn't have enough strength to hit the ceiling. But he's gonna be pretty upset.
Well, how's it look, Doc?
For the moment, it's hard to tell.
Well, am I going to make it?
As far as I can tell right now, I think you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, but you haven't found out exactly what it is.
Well, we've ruled out a number of things. You don't show any signs of a virus, and doesn't appear to be any infection. Although your blood count is strangely off.
Well, what's the reason for that? I mean, the blood count being off.
Could be any number of things. I really don't know. All we can do is continue to rule out various disorders by process of elimination.
Hey, Doc, it couldn't be one of them rare diseases or anything like that, could it?
I don't think so. The funny thing is that you seem to be a lot better today than you did when we brought you in last night.
Well, yeah, that's just it. I mean, I felt all right last night, as a matter of fact. It's just, I don't understand about this thing is that it seems to come in spells, and in between I seem to feel just fine.
Well, the spells could be indicative of any number of things. Our problem is to find out exactly which one.
Yeah, my sister Ruby keeps insisting that it's nerves, that the show I'm doing is getting to me.
Are you under any particular strain at your job?
I don't know. Do you ever watch the Phil Roberts show?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's all right. I wouldn't be watching it either. But you see, I co-host the show with this Phil Roberts guy, and we don't get along very well.
Well, that could certainly aggravate your condition, but I don't think it could cause all the symptoms you're experiencing. Not the nausea, the chills, the slight fever, the low blood count.
Well, look, Doc, I hate to put you on the spot here, but I figured if I came in here, you'd be able to fix me up right away.
Well, people think that we have all the answers. Unfortunately, Billy Joe, we don't. I tell you, as far as I can tell right now, I don't think the cause of your problems is emotional. I think it's physical.
All right, Ruby, what are you up to now?
It's not a very nice thing to say. I thought I was doing you a favor.
No, please. I'm still trying to recover from the last favor you did me. Is this the guy you're trying to get me to hire?
Mr. Roberts, my name's Bo Baker.
Is Bo in cahoots with you now?
Nobody's in cahoots with anybody. Bo is my client, and that is my interest. But if you don't want to hire him, that's your business. Although I think you're making a very big mistake.
I didn't come down here to talk about you or your clients.
That's not the reason I asked you to come down here. I asked you to come because I thought it would look pretty bad for the Phil Roberts show if your co-host is here in the hospital with some mysterious disease and you didn't even show up to wish him well.
I don't think anybody's going to care one way or the other.
Things like this are big news, Phil.
I don't think the press knows Billy Joe's here.
Oh, yes, they do. I just called the paper. They're sending a reporter right over.
Are you Billy Joe Wright's nurse? I'm one of them. Well, Dr. Douglas said that we can see Billy Joe.
Dr. Douglas is in there. I'll let you know. Come on, Monica. Let's buy Billy Joe some flowers.
Who are they?
Oh, those are the girls who wait outside the studio every night for Billy Joe.
Well, how soon can we see Billy Joe?
Well, home again. What is it? Go back to the yacht?
Oh, Grandma, we're home! Home, Grandma!
No one's here.
Grandma's not here?
Hello, Justin. Ashley.
Oh, hello.
Grandma, where is everyone?
Well, Ryan and Ginny have flown to Montana to look for Steve.
Did they spot him up there?
I had a letter yesterday, late in the afternoon. It was postmarked Edmonds, Montana. They left in Stryker's plane this morning.
good. That's wonderful news.
Of course, they don't know whether Barrett and Steve are still there, but they hope they are.
What did he say in the letter, Grandma?
Well, he said that he missed everybody.
Oh.
And that Barrett had told him that Ginny didn't want him to live with her anymore. But he wanted Ginny to know that he still loved her.
Well, I know that she was so happy to hear that.
She is.
Where's Lurleen?
What's wrong?
Lurleen is upstairs, asleep.
What's the matter with her?
Bubba Wadsworth got into the house yesterday and tried to rape her and kill her. She fought him. He fell down the stairs. He's in the hospital now.
Is Bubba in bad shape, I hope?
Well, he was hurt badly enough to be hospitalized. I don't know the details.
I should have found that guy and killed him.
Well, then you'd be in jail now, Justin.
Well, it's all over now.
Well, how is Lurleen?
Well, she's pretty good, considering. Doc Williams came by earlier.
Bubba didn't rape her, did he, Grandma?
No, she just has bruises, and she's very upset. But I think in time she will be all right.
Was Lurleen alone at the ranch when Bubba attacked her?
Yes. Rusty was guarding the back of the house, but Bubba sneaked up behind him, knocked him out, dragged him down to the pond, and bound him to a tree.
Where was Ginny?
She was in town. She tried to call a few times, but Bubba had cut the telephone wires. When Ginny got upset, because she couldn't reach her, she came on out. By that time, Bubba had already fallen downstairs.
Poor Lurleen.
She's having nightmares now. But Doc Williams says that's to be expected. She went through such a terrible ordeal.
I hope they locked that guy up for 50 years.
Can we see Lurleen?
Well, maybe later this afternoon.
Of course.
I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. But then the news about Steve is good. That's a lot to be grateful for.
Hello.
Hi.
Here's your dad over at the school getting you enrolled.
No, he's at the bank, and then we have to go turn the car in.
And then you're going to get enrolled in school, right? Would you like something to eat for lunch?
No, thanks. I just want to wait for my dad. Is that okay?
Sure. Just pull up a seat and rest yourself. My sister has a boy in school about your age. He's on the basketball team.
I hope I can play basketball.
Oh, hello.
Hi there.
Would you like a cup of coffee?
No, I just had some at the bank.
I better get back to work. Nice talking to you.
What were you talking about?
Nothing.
Well, it must have been something.
Well, we're talking about school, basketball. Are you ready to drive to the city now?
Yes.
Dad, I have to get some new basketball shoes. I forgot to pack mine.
Check out the trucks first. Then we'll look for basketball shoes, okay?
I'm telling you, Ruby, I'm not going to let that Phil Roberts set one foot inside here. If he does, I'll probably have a relapse.
Billy Joe, I think you should try and be reasonable.
I think you're the one who's not being reasonable.
Think about the show.
I figure there's the one place I wouldn't have to think about the show.
All right, it's your career.
Look, Ruby, I'm a sick man here. If I see that guy, so help me, it's going to push me right over the edge.
Oh, Billy Joe, you are exaggerating again, as usual. 5 minutes with Phil Roberts is not going to hurt you.
5 seconds with that guy's enough to drive me right up the wall. Besides, I can't see any reason why he'd want to come to see me in the first place.
Okay, so he's not doing it out of the goodness of his heart.
Why is he doing it?
For publicity. Phil happens to be a smart businessman. He knows how important publicity is, and you should too.
No way.
Billy Joe.
Look, Ruby, I'm warning you. I'm not going to let him set one foot inside this place.
It's too late. The reporters are already here. The fans are here. Everybody's here. Look, I promise you that I will have Phil out of here as soon as possible.
Well, welcome to Montana.
Thank you.
That's quite a plane you've got out there.
Yeah, it is quite a plane, but belongs to a friend of ours.
You folks here on vacation or business?
Business.
You going to file a flight plan with us?
We should be here a day or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Well, try to give us as much notice as you can on the flight plans, will you?
Sure thing.
Listen, are there any rent-a-car places around here?
Oh, and payphone. I need to call Kate.
Yeah.
Sure, you can find both of those at the main passenger terminal.
How do we get there?
Well, if you can wait just a few minutes, I'll have someone drive you over.
Thank you.
Sure, we try to help all we can here in Edmonds. Sometimes it's easier to get lost in a small town than a big city.
Sure it is, huh?
Now, you folks are from Texas, are you?
Yes, we are.
Well, Montana's kind of like Texas, just a little greener, that's all. Hope you have a nice day.
Thank you. I hope so, too.
Sure.
There you go. Hi there. You rented the car in Houston.
That's right.
Says here you were supposed to turn it into the office at Richmond, Virginia.
Our plans changed.
Oh, you should have notified us.
I didn't have time.
All you had to do was call our toll-free number.
Oh, it's too late for that now, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Can you accept the car here, or do I have to drive it to Richmond?
Oh, we can accept it here, but next time I wish you would call.
I don't think there will be a next time.
Is there anything I can do to get you settled here in town?
We're already settled, thank you.
Oh, if there's anything that we can do to make your visit more pleasant, please feel free to ask.
What I would like is for you to process the form as quickly as possible.
Yes, sir.
Are you okay, Dad?
What, son?
Are you feeling all right?
I'm fine. Just get annoyed at having to wait so long to get anything done.
Now, Jim, why don't you come over here and try to get a shot from this angle?
Oh, well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure it'll help me feel a whole lot better real soon.
Oh, we just love you on the show, Mr. Wright.
Hey, please, call me Billy Joe. You want me to sign autographs or anything?
Hey, where is he? Where is he? What is all this? Well, Billy Joe, how's my favorite co-host?
Roberts.
I thought you might like some flowers. Here, come here. Wait a minute. Here, buddy. There you go. Well, how you doing this morning, buddy? I worried all last night. Hardly got a wink of sleep. Called every hour on the hour, checking on you.
Yeah, I just bet you did.
This looks like Grand Central Station. Who are these lovely ladies?
They're my fans.
Well, I think that's wonderful. I think it's just wonderful that they took time out of their day to come down here and see you in your hour of need.
May I have your autograph, too,
Oh,
Mr.
you
Roberts?
sure can. Let me sign it over here in the light. There we go. Now, yeah, I'm sorry I just don't have my photographs with me.
Oh, Phil,
Yes, Ruby.
how about if we get a shot of you and Billy Joe together, you know, for the photo section of the paper? Maybe,
Yeah, that sounds real nice. I think that's a good idea.
what if you're pouring Billy Joe a cup of water?
All right.
Here you go, Billy Joe.
I don't want any water.
It's just for the pictures.
I don't care what it's for.
All right, all right.
Okay, hold it, wait a minute.
Is it ready over there?
All right, got everything ready?
How's this?
That's fine.
Anything interesting in that stack of mail?
Well, I got a letter from my mother, but not much else. Except bills.
Well, put them all together and I'll write out the checks later.
Okay.
Come here, you.
I love you. And am I moving still, or do I think I'm still on the yacht?
You think you're still on the yacht, I think.
Justin, I had a lovely time. Thank you.
You're so welcome. How are you feeling otherwise?
Fine.
I'm really surprised that you haven't had any morning sickness yet, Ashley.
You're just not going to be happy until I get sick, are you?
I keep reading about these things about morning sickness, about weird cravings for
Well,
food.
you know, Justin, not everybody feels like that.
I know. Well, Eileen.
Sweetheart, how do you feel?
I think I'll go back upstairs. Excuse me.
What's the matter, Grandma?
Well, she just doesn't feel comfortable around people right now.
Well, I can understand that.
I can't.
Justin.
Well, you'd think she'd want to be around friends?
She went through a terrible ordeal yesterday. I think she's having trouble dealing with it.
Well, I'd like to help her deal with it, Ashley.
Well, I don't think you're going to be able to do that until she's ready.
She doesn't want to see me because because Bubba worked for me.
That's not true.
That's her problem, isn't it, Grandma?
No. She knows that you went out looking for Bubba. She knows how you feel about him, and she knows that you care about her.
I get sick every time I think of what Bubba put her through.
Then maybe you can imagine how Lurleen feels.
Must be something I can do to help her.
I really think the one that can really help Lurleen now is Jenny.
Hello? Hi. May I help you?
Yes, I would like to rent a car.
You're in the right place. Take your pick.
Okay, let's see. This would be fine.
Okay. Will you please fill that out?
Mm-hmm.
Will this be a charge?
Yeah.
Okay. And how long will you need the car for, Mr. Connors?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how long we're going to be in town here.
I think we should rent it for a couple of days, Ryan.
Okay. Yeah. Do you know how many motels there are here in Edmonds?
Oh, there's 8 or 10 in and around the town. The Edmonds Inn is about the nicest.
Thank you. How many rent-a-car agencies are there?
Oh, this is the only one for 15 miles in either direction.
Huh. Do you recall if a man named Barrett Marshall turned in a car here?
Yep, about a half hour ago.
Great fan club. Okay, excuse me, but I think Billy Joe's had enough company for one afternoon. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave.
All right, Billy Joe, you get better real soon now.
Yeah. Thank y'all for being here. We'll see y'all. Bye.
Now listen, you relax. I'll be back shortly.
If you weren't my sister, I'd swear you're trying to do me in by asking Roberts here.
You don't understand the value of good publicity.
What I do understand is the value of peace and quiet. I'm in a hospital, but I don't seem to be getting a whole lot of that lately.
Bo, would you mind? I'll see you later.
No problem. Hey, Billy Joe, you take care of yourself.
Yeah, thanks. What is with that guy anyways, man? It's like he's your shadow or something.
I wanted Bo to be here when Phil Roberts came because I wanted to push Phil about getting Bo on the show again. Now, Bo's my client, just like you and Ricky, and I got to watch out for my clients.
You don't miss an angle, do you?
I try not to.
Well, what did Robert say about Bo?
He didn't want to talk about it.
You want to know what I think? I think you better just forget about getting Bo on the show as long as Phil Roberts is on it.
I think you're right. Gonna watch the show today?
No, I'm not going to watch the show. I want to forget all about the show. I want to forget all about Phil Roberts and everything that has to do with it.
Look, I'm real sorry if I upset you.
Well, you knew it was going to upset me when you sprung this whole idea on me, Ruby.
I was just thinking about your publicity. What's the matter?
Maybe it was for the best.
Are you all right?
Ruby. Oh, Ruby, you better go get that doctor again. It's coming again, that feeling.
Okay, hold on. I'll go get him.
Grandma, I hope you'll go for a cruise on our new yacht. It's a beauty.
Thank you, Justin. But I prefer to stay on dry land.
Oh, Grandma, you were a terrific sailor. Remember those summers we used to spend out on the lake?
Of course I do. You always used to push Paige off the dock into the water. Usually right after she'd curled her hair.
I don't think that's very funny.
It's not.
Oh, we were just kids, you two. Anyway, Paige used to do some pretty nasty things to me, too.
Oh, no. While Barrett and Courtney and Don were behaving themselves. You and Paige were raising Cain.
I can just imagine.
How is Paige, anyway, these days? You heard from her?
No, but I understand she was on television. Something called the Phil Roberts Show.
Oh, did you see it?
No, Wanda did. And she said Iris Wheeler was on the show with her.
Iris Wheeler.
Iris? Page, sounds interesting.
Well, Wanda said it was a little embarrassing, especially for Paige, because Mr. Roberts asked her questions about Peter Parnell, about her friendship with him, and also mentioned that Mr. Parnell had been arrested for murder.
I think that's just terrible.
And deliberate.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, it sounds to me like Iris put that man up to asking some embarrassing questions to Paige. You see, Iris can't stand Paige.
Well, now, why would Iris want to embarrass Paige publicly?
Well, it's more than enough reason for Iris Wheeler.
Was Paige promoting her boutique?
Apparently so.
When's it going to open?
I'm not sure.
If Iris has her way, it never will.
What does Iris Wheeler have against Paige?
Paige married Dennis.
But they're divorced now.
Well, apparently it hasn't satisfied Iris.
Well, no good will come of wasting your time and energy on revenge.
I think I'm going to go up and check on Lurleen.
She was sleeping when I was
I'll be quiet.
All right, Ryan and Ginny going to call when they get to Montana?
Yes, I expect to hear from them tonight.
Do you know how Mr. Marshall got back into town?
No, I don't. But they didn't have any suitcases with them, I know that.
Did you talk to the boy?
No. Mr. Marshall was in a bad mood. I got the feeling the boy was keeping quiet so he wouldn't upset his dad.
Well, if they don't have a car, I mean, how would they get back into town?
The bus. It runs every half hour till 5 o'clock. After that, you got to take a taxi.
How many taxi companies are there?
There's only 2. And they're both small. They each only have 3 cars. They would remember an airport trip, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Is there a school in Edmonds?
Yes, there's 1 elementary and 1 high school and 3 banks. The rest of the town is ranches. We're surrounded by ranches. Okay. There you go.
Is that it?
Yep. I'll show you where the car is.
Okay, thanks again.
Excuse me, I'll be right back.
Thank you. Well, are you satisfied?
I hope you're satisfied. Billy Joe just had another attack.
What are you talking about?
Right after you left the room, Billy Joe doubled over in pain.
Well, if you can't take the pressure of the job, that's too bad, but you're not going to lay it off on me.
I wonder if his attacks have anything to do with his job.
Well, it's obvious he just can't take the job.
Seems pretty strange to me that it always comes over him after you've left the room or when you're talking to him.
What are you getting at?
You know what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I think I do, and I don't like it one little bit.
I'm warning you, Phil. If you have anything to do with what's happening to my
you
brother,
what?
I'll have that show taken away from you so fast, it's gonna make your head spin.
Roberts is on to us.
I'm not so sure.
How's Billy Joe?
He's all right now.
Now, what's wrong?
I just hate seeing Billy Joe sick like this.
Pumpkin. Didn't you tell me that Phil Roberts was trying to get Billy Joe bounced off this show? Well, if he succeeds, that means both Billy Joe and Ricky Decker are out of jobs.
I know. I know what I said.
What makes you so sure that Phil Roberts isn't on to us?
Even if he is, he can't prove it.
Yeah, well, that works 2 ways. That's why I think the next step is to get some of them pills planted on Phil Roberts.
Hello.
Hi.
If you want some coffee, I just made some fresh.
Oh, I'd love some. Thank
Sounds good to me, but I think I'll have a cup of tea instead, thanks.
you. You hungry?
No, but you go ahead and eat, honey.
Let's see, we have 4 more motels to check on this list.
Yeah, maybe we ought to check the bus stations, ask the drivers in the airport run if they remember seeing them.
Oh, Ron, I'd really like to check the rest of these motels first, okay?
Sure.
You folks sound like you're looking for somebody.
We are. A man named Marshall and his son.
What do they look like? Maybe I saw them. A lot of people stop by here when they're traveling.
Well, the man is tall and dark, has a full beard, and the boy's about 11 years old, has reddish blonde hair.
Are they from Texas?
Yes, they are.
Well, yeah, they were here earlier. The kid was talking about buying some basketball shoes.
Brian, that's Stephen.
Do you know where they were staying?
I think they were at a motel over on Mountain Road, but I think they're on a ranch now. The man was even going to open a bank account today, in fact.
Are the banks closed right now?
Yeah, they close at 3.
Do you know what ranch they were going to?
No, I don't.
Do you know if they ever came in here with someone who lives in the area?
Yeah, they did. Now, who was that?